hosting Hannah and Rebecca.
I am, yeah. She's awesome.
Whoa,
Yeah.
she's got 1.1K viewers.
She was on the
Way to
front page
go.
today.
Way to go,
Oh
Hannah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I really,
Fabulous.
it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm so happy for a lot of our friends like making front page these last couple weeks. Like it's really great to see that.
Yeah, that's so cool. I have not been keeping up with anything,
Hmm.
so hopefully I didn't miss any emails.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah. I guess well, there's a lot going on, I think, to be fair. So in fairness to you, like I think there's just so much to track these days, which is a good thing. Like it's good that the scene has been really, really exciting. And
No, so cool.
so folks in the chat, if you're just tuning in, our friend Composey has 3 beverages tonight at her to select from, and this is just adding to the excitement of the stream. Like we can't wait to see which one she picks first, and see how it goes from there.
I'm just sitting here giggling on my end. Can people hear me?
Oh yes, absolutely. We're
Oh,
live, and so. But the good thing is we can cuss on this channel if you want to. So
oh my gosh.
I, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that, but you absolutely can
Break
do
my
it.
persona. Break my persona on stream. I think that like the Twitch gods would come down and like hammer thunder and lightning on my head. Right?
Right. Oh, good times.
There you go.
Hey, CT,
I,
what's going on? How you doing?
there we go.
Yeah, you're up. And
Hey, Chris Thompson.
yeah, it's one of our
Welcome
friends.
in. How are you?
Good to see you, CT. Now, CT
Okay.
loves to sing as well, and he'll be one of our friends that will be joining us in a couple days when we do karaoke.
Really?
Show. Yeah. Have you ever heard him
How
sing?
many? I have. How many interviews have you done though? That's my
Oh,
question.
that's a great question. Well, if you average it, if it was like one a week, more or less, it's been one a week, right? Since May 4th last year, so that's 52 weeks plus like another month and 2 months, and then maybe like 3 more weeks. So,
Wow, I'm really honored,
oh,
to be part of this.
oh, absolutely. Oh my goodness, we're honored to have you here. Like you're an incredibly fascinating personality to have on this program, and I'm really glad you agreed to this too. So,
Oh, I'm not that interesting, but you're very kind. You're very kind.
well, I think the chat will be very excited to
Rome.
have your. Hey, look, see Roman and the
Rome's
Rose here. What's going on? Nice to meet you
Rome.
here.
Rome house sat for us while we were out of town. And Rome not only house sat Davy, but they cleaned up and they left us a warm meal when we arrived. And they left me tea. And Rome, I'm drinking the green tea right now. And it is so good. It's like this citrus, and I added honey and milk to it. It's like jasmine and yumminess.
Oh, that sounds
Right?
delicious. It sounds delightful, especially at this hour. That's a great nighttime wind down beverage.
Is it though?
Oh, you
Green
rather
tea
have it
has
as a pick me up?
caffeine.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping it's a wind down, but I don't even know. That green tea is so. And Rome, I did not miss the fact that this green tea is Good Earth green tea, which is like stellar tea. If you want good tea, Davy, get Good Earth.
Good Earth. I think
Yeah,
I've heard of them. Sounds great.
it's
Yeah.
Minnesotan. I'm not sure if it goes beyond Minnesota.
Oh, okay. I'll give it a look. I'll look them up at some point.
I'm looking them up right now because I can, because since I'm not making music, this feels weird, Davy. Like I feel like I should be talking to you with an instrument in my hand right now.
Well, it's so this is what's so fun about this, the dynamic of the show. It is different, isn't it? Like it's like, and I think a lot of people have really enjoyed that, and I'm hoping you do as well. And it sounds like you're having a blast so far, which is great.
I am. Like I said, like I know that we're still on the sandwich right now, but I'm just about ready to pull out my knitting and just hang out with you and knit.
Nice.
There's the Good Earth.
We have succeeded then. Oh, there we go. Thank you for putting that website up there in the chat. So Good Earth Tea, if anybody wants to try it, and hopefully they ship. If they don't serve it outside of Minnesota, maybe they ship like.
Well,
packages
Rome's not in Minnesota, so my question is, how did Rome get the tea? Because it is a Minnesota brand. It's the whole tagline is the Good Earth, Minnesota. I missed the tagline. It went away. Darn it. That was so bad. Way to kill it, Liz. Oh, restaurants natural, unprocessed. No painter ever had a fuller palate than a chef in the summertime.
There it is.
Okay, now it just keeps going.
That was a great
But that's
description. Well, you had me sold with there. I mean, that blurb on the website. That you won me over. I'm
With the chef in the summer. I think it was this long blog. That's why I just stopped. I'm like, oh, this is going to go
keep going.
way too long. We're going to stop right there. Rome has seen it on Amazon. They buy it at Festival. One of their grocery stores. Okay.
I love that so much. All right, let's go ahead and start. We can keep going with the tea discussion.
Wait. You have to tell me about the sandwich.
Oh, sure. So the sandwich is a grilled cheese sandwich with pepper jack cheese and bacon. I made this in 2012 in my then apartment, which was not too far from here. It's in West. My old apartment was in a different part of town, but I was still in the area, in the LA area. And it came out great. Really gooey, cheesy. Yeah. Tons of bacon.
You've definitely used butter too.
Oh yes, you noticed
it looks
that.
So crusty.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What kind of bread?
It's just wheat bread, just regular wheat bread. Yeah, interestingly, the bread is probably the most mundane component of the sandwich, but everything else was pretty exciting. So, yeah.
Rome has to tell you that the sandwich on the screen kind of looks like it has a teddy bear face on it and a giant paw.
I see the teddy bear resemblance. I do see that. Yeah, Rome.
I don't see the teddy bear.
Well, it's kind of like, you ever have teddygrams? Like, you know how like the head is kind of at the top. Like, if you look on the right side of that sandwich.
I was twisting my head the wrong way. Okay, hold on.
So that's sort of I think I see the resemblance from that angle. So
it's kind of an ET teddy bear though. The eyes are really distanced from each other.
It's pretty stretched out. It's pretty stretched out too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'm seeing ET. Rome, I see ET with a really goofy little smirk. That's my version.
And a wild, like, spiky haircut too, with like the bacon.
Yeah, and it's got little arms kind of along the side. Maybe it's like touching its tummy, like, that's a tasty sandwich.
I think this teddy bear is ready to party.
I made homemade bread last night. That is the best sandwich bread. It's so perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
Will it be featured tonight in your sandwich of the week?
No, because that's not my favorite sandwich.
Okay.
But I can cut a piece of my bread and show it to you on screen.
Okay, if you got it on you.
No, but.
Well, I don't want to deprive our chat anymore from seeing you on screen, so let's do the thing.
Rome and I are seeing two totally different teddy bears.
Interpretive works for interpretive foods. How about it?
I like it.
I like it too.
I'm totally a fan.
It's great. Hey everybody, welcome to the Sandwich Show. It's good to have you back, everybody. And we do it again. It's a big week for us here. We have a karaoke show coming up in a couple days, and but tonight we have an incredible guest joining us, and I too agree that you're more fascinating than you give yourself credit for. Let's say hello to a music teacher, a musician, a multi-instrumentalist, and an activist, and that would be our friend Composey.
Aww.
Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Thanks. It's going well. I agree with Chris. Davey, you are super cool, and you're always a cool dude.
Hey, thanks. Thank you, CT. You know, he's been a very supportive guy for this program for quite some time, and so thank you, CT. Appreciate you. We'll be seeing our friend CT in a couple days. We also will be seeing Pinball Sorcerer, who's in the chat. What's going on, my friend? Now, that guy can get karaoke, folks. But anyway, good to see you, Pinball. I'm going to give you a shout out. Y'all go follow Pinball as well. But we're spending time with Composey, who is just back from a really, it sounded like an awesome vacation, covering multiple countries, like multiple destinations, tropical areas.
Multiple states.
Multiple states. That was over 15.
I wish multiple countries. We'll get there.
Cool.
Oh, Pinball has his own command.
And it's way overdue. Sorry about that, Pinball. I'm sorry it took so long for me to do one, but yes, absolutely. Glad to do that for you. You are good friend, good people here on this channel. So thanks for being a friend of the Sandwich Show. An uneducated potato. Now what?
Potato.
It's nice to see a potato. That's one of Composey's friends. So good to see you. Yes. Welcome in.
Potato, my new vegetarian cookbook, had a lot of potatoes in the bread making section.
Ooh.
Who knew?
Who knew indeed.
Yeah.
Well, potatoes, good to see you. Look at all these cool friends. You know, this is one of my favorite things about having anybody from the Twitch world on, is that the friends come with the streamer. And I think we've got a good case. Hey, Dahlia's in the chat too. My goodness, what's going on, Black Dahlia? And congratulations on your milestone, Black Dahlia. Let me give you a shout out too.
Wait, what's Black Dahlia's milestone?
He just hit 200 followers.
Oh, Black Dahlia, congratulations!
Up it up.
Yay.
Yeah, that was great. I was over there hanging out with our friend Black Dahlia a little earlier today. Whoa, Davey, you look a lot like that guy in that show, Ted Lasso. I know, it's the shirt, right? It's the shirt. It's totally the shirt.
Oh, I love Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso, though.
It's totally a shirt. I totally agree. Yeah, it was a good show, right? I haven't seen it, but I've heard so many good things about it. Like, I'm assuming you're all caught up then if you like the show, if you're a big fan.
I like the show. I've watched exactly 2 episodes.
Okay.
I'm finishing binge watching Schitt's Creek right now.
Okay.
I'm not swearing because it's with a C. There's a C in there. Just for any of my friends.
They do that on
she
purpose.
Doesn't swear.
I appreciate your commitment to this. I appreciate your commitment to keeping it clean. That's not easy to do. It's
the elementary teacher in me. It's like I can turn Teacher Liz on or outside of Teacher Liz on, and like this space is Teacher Liz.
Okay.
I can't turn it off.
Well, I appreciate you. And so yeah, I mean that's what you do in regular life, and you certainly were doing that before the pandemic. And if you were to describe like what your day is like, I mean, do you educate people? And it mentions in your bio that you're educating in music, but do you educate other things too? Were you always a music teacher, or were you teaching different things beforehand?
I didn't want to be a music teacher at first, but I am now. I wanted to. There's a whole story, Davey. I wanted to be a funeral home director. Like
really?
I really wanted to be. Yeah, I did. And I got fired from the job 4 times. And so by the 4th time I got fired, I was realizing that I was not meant to work in the funeral home industry. I was too happy.
What a reason.
It's true. And I kept begging them every time they fired me. Like, I'll go to school, I'll come back in the summer, and I promised to like be more somber, and I never could. So it wasn't for me. Fart's here. Fantastic and random team.
Fart is in the chat. Fart, pump it up. It's so good to see you too.
Okay. I would love for you to interview Fart if he was ever free enough for an interview, because he's so fascinating.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard good things. But every time I'm over to hang out with you, I'm always keen to see Fart in the chat alongside Potato, and you have interesting friend names over in your channel. But
they're fabulous. As do you. I mean, Pinball,
no doubt.
Dahlia,
yep.
CT.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then we have Rahomo, of course, and then Aaron and Tintin. Yeah, we have very colorful names for our friends as well. That's a good point.
I love it. I love the origin of names too.
Oh yeah, I know. So we may as well flip that in your direction. So I mean, Composey doesn't seem like too much of a mystery. I mean, you compose music, you compose it on stream. Is that where the name came from?
No.
Interesting.
I taught my first 4 years. Oh, I'm sorry. I have taught everything from kindergarten up until graduate, postgraduate. And so right now I'm currently teaching elementary school, but my first few years of teaching, I taught students who were learning English as a second language, and they couldn't say my name. My name was just too Scandinavian, and they were Hmong. And so the students just were like, well, they came together. They said, well, she teaches us about composers. So instead of calling her by her real last name, we're just going to call her Mrs. Composey. And so Composey is where it came from. And I laughed back then, like, this is a goofy last name, but I'm going to keep it. And when my husband and I, Matzi and I, were trying to figure out what should my screen name be, that's the very first one that came to mind. It's like, well, I'm the composer now. And that's kind of fun.
It is. That's fast. That's a fantastic name. It's one that it's easy to remember too, because like, you know, like, oh, she does music. Okay, great. So the connotation is excellent.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And you said yours was because your cousin said it ominously. Davey is eating a sandwich.
Yeah, as a joke. And then everybody ran with the joke. My cousin's dead. My sister's dead. And so, but I mean, I do in fact like sandwiches. But I was mentioning to Liz off air that it's actually not my favorite food. It's one of my favorite foods. It's like a top 5 easily. But
thanks, Pinball.
Oh yeah, pinball, absolutely. That's awesome that you feel. I appreciate your sentiments too. But pizza's my favorite food. But
But if you stack the pizza, wouldn't it be a sandwich?
we've talked. This has been talked about, and yeah, I mean the argument can definitely be made because if you think about calzones, that's basically what it is. It's like you're folding it over. It's
Yeah.
good, decent argument. It does kind of come apart, unfortunately. I wish it would stay together more, but that would be a more. It would be a much easier slam dunk answer. But I do think there's an argument there. You know, to bread crust, put it together.
Makes sense. Potato says, it seems that actor's name from Ted Lasso that I think you look like, says Potato, is Nick Mohammed. Davey, are you sure you're
I'm
not
Nick
Nick
Mohammed.
Mohammed?
I'm gonna have to go watch the show now to see what this is.
It's a cute show.
Yeah. Okay. I've heard.
Is it
Yeah.
Apple? Is it iTunes?
Apple
Where is
TV.
it?
Yeah. And it's about
Yeah.
an American who goes to the whatever they call the Premier League in the show. I'm sure they can't use actual Premier League, but something like the Premier League in England, and then he coaches a team, and then all the people they meet along the way. So look at all these pizza emotes in the chat. That's wonderful.
I know.
Pizza.
Fart made that one. It's a heart. It's a heart-shaped pizza.
That's awesome. Look at that.
It's the best.
So
I can't make heart-shaped pizza.
Fart, do you stream? If you do,
He'll type in his answer. He does, but he's also a super committed dad. And
okay.
so time is maybe harder for him to just allot to just that. But he makes his own emotes. He plays games. He sometimes plays games with his two kids, which he's lovingly named. Was it Baby Fart and Medium Fart? And his kids named him. And it's really cute because sometimes he never puts their faces on screens. You just hear their voices, and they have the sweetest voices while they're playing these games. I really like it.
I like it
Have
too.
a good time with them.
That's so cool. So Roman says, for not being an actor in the show, you sure seem to know a lot about the show.
See, I mean, he is in LA, Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you won't know for sure.
No, we won't ever know.
We're gonna have to watch the show and see, is that guy? Oh, that guy looks like that guy looks just like me.
Oh, that's right. Fart's still in school. Fart went back to school, so busy with school too.
Fart, that's awesome though. May your education pursuit be good to you. Like I hope that goes well. So this is really just an example of the great community you're having on your channel, and I know the circumstances for most people that led them to Twitch or led them to just streaming in general. You know, we all were kind of stuck at home. We were all doing the thing. Yeah. This story's been covered a lot, but were you surprised to see the kind of people the personalities that were in your chat early on?
Oh my gosh, yes. So I think you know this. I have a pandemic baby that was born just like 2 weeks after the shutdown.
Oh man.
And so when I was 9 months pregnant, Matzi, my husband, who does stream, and he's a video game developer, he would go down to the basement and talk at the wall. And I'm 9 months pregnant with our third child and really mad at him for going downstairs and talking at the wall rather than, helping us at the house. And finally, I was just like, well, I can stay angry at him, or I can just ask him what he's doing in the basement in his studio. He's like, I'm streaming. I'm like, that seems like weird. Are you saying screaming? Because it doesn't sound like screaming to me. And he started to tell me what streaming was about, but he's not actually talking to the wall. He's talking to people. And I was like, you're joking, right? And so then I started to visit his stream, and I would play a random song on the ukulele. And it was so much fun because I realized how quick people respond. And I was like, this is actually a lot of fun. And so that's kind of what got us started with the idea that I could stream since I wasn't going to teach, because we have some immunocompromised issues where I couldn't teach right after the pandemic happened. And it was just really fun. And then, I was really surprised by how receptive and kind people are, because as a professional musician, I'm used to perfectionism. I'm used to people immediately kind of shutting you down, especially for creative efforts like writing music.
Right.
And so I didn't want to share the music that I wrote. So I did a bunch of covers at first. And then I started to share the songs that I wrote, and people were so kind that it was almost a healing experience for me, coming out of the deep perfection I had in undergrad and graduate school. So
is there still,
you all.
That's really great. So when you talk about what that's like today, Now, do you still have those moments where you're like, oh man, I could have done that so much better, or I wanted to do,
all the time.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I pretty much mess up every single song. And people who know me really well have found out I have little twerks that I like, little glitches that I do.
Okay.
when I sincerely mess up a song. But then I just kind of like, well, it's life. And one thing that I love about performing here on Twitch is that the mistakes are fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Nobody's gonna hate me, and if they do, they can just move on,
Yeah, that's very valuable. And before I continue on that tangent, I want to say welcome our mod friend Erin, who's been a great friend of the sandwich. It's so good to see you, Erin. How you doing tonight?
Hi, Erin.
Our first ever mod of the show. I'm so good to see you, Erin. Great friend of the sandwich show. Great friend of myself as well. And the question is about the rubber ducky. Yeah, so there's a story behind this, right?
There is, and my last stream, Bardis is my best friend in real life. She made it, and she was here physically in stream.
I saw this, yeah.
From Seattle.
Oh.
It's wild. So a few years back, I was given the wonderful title of ally in the LGBTQ community, and I had a pride flag that my daughter made. It's right here. I dropped it.
Oh, no.
It was there, and I had it on stream for a long time, and then Abby came to town, Abby C Music, and we are laughing about how my life is kind of a cluster duck. And then Bardis loved it so much, she made me a cluster duck pride flag with Bryce, our trans duck, in the middle. So this is my cluster duck pride flag.
That's an excellent, and what great timing. Pride Month was last month too. That's really awesome.
So thanks, Aaron. I love it too.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Aaron.
Have this.
Oh.
So, it's not named. I feel like I should name it. Maybe it's Clyde. I feel like this is a Clyde.
Clyde? Okay. I'm down with Clyde. I love it. I love that. That's really good. By the way, right, Aaron? I'm totally down. Aaron says, and now I love it even more. I mean, it's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
Thanks.
But you kind of buried the lead a little bit, though. You met Abby C in person? That's fantastic.
Oh, let's see. Here's all the people I've met in person.
Okay.
Here's me and Abby. Whoa.
Oh, that's
I'm
so
not sure
cool.
if you can see the camera.
What's up, Abby?
There's Abby.
I see Abby, yeah.
And back then she was still Poppy Tunes. And then this wild picture, you can see them all. This is Manny, orchestra music, and
Manny's cool.
And Manny's wife, Lady Orchestra.
Yeah, Lady Orchestra,
So she was in here too. And then my bassist that's in the album that we just released, Ellie, who will eventually be streaming. So
cool.
And then I kind of had to pause because, just pandemic flare-ups. I was like, I can't have anyone else come. Even though people were coming into town, I was like, it was hard.
No, I understand. I mean, I know that with family and everything, it can be tough. Like, I totally understand. So,
yeah.
But if the time comes where you can hang out with people again, I think that'll be awesome. But it's cool.
And Rome's been here. I just haven't taken a picture of them and I.
Yeah, Rome, we called you out on that.
And Bardis, I feel so bad. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, Aaron says, "Oh, I love the idea of taking Polaroids with all the people you met."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a fun one. Thank you.
Yeah.
You look forward to meeting more online friends in person, says Potato. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, you seem to be in a good spot for it, though. I know you're based around the Twin Cities, so like people will come through town. There's a lot going on there. So do you feel like there's an advantage to that in your music and your ability to meet people?
Right. It's true. I think the challenge. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just saying, like, do you feel like that gives you an advantage, like being in a fairly mid-major market?
It does, but I'm a cancer survivor, so my immune system tanks when I get a little sick, so I've had to be super careful during the pandemic.
Right.
My daughter has a really rare form of asthma where her lungs accumulate germs from a cold and it turns into bronchitis like overnight.
Ooh,
and so we have that, and then we have our youngest who's just been unprotected. So we've had to be extra cautious, and our eldest with the asthma has some surgeries coming up. So we just have to, I think the hardest part about being a parent during the pandemic has been all of the protection levels that we've had to put around our kids. So yes, I'm definitely in the middle of the Twin Cities. It's fabulous when people fly into town, but half the time I'm like, I'll see you at a park.
Yeah,
and make it easy.
No, I completely understand. Yeah, I mean, but it's great that you're there for your family, and it's really cool. By the way, I'll mention to the folks in the chat. Yes, Aaron, thank you for putting in for the Bork an entire Broadway production challenge. Holy cow. We are moving on up. So, but the way that works, basically, if you're...
What is this?
The way you said that. All right, so
great.
It's basically... So, like Mad Libs, like you take a Broadway song and then like certain words you'll replace with the word Bork. So you can Bork a song. And so we'll take them from, a famous Broadway production. Like, what's a famous Broadway production that you really like?
I've seen Wicked.
Okay, so let's say we did Wicked. We did.
Worst music teacher ever right here.
That would be... Well, I mean, Wicked is awesome. Like, don't shame on... No shame in that. I don't think there's any shame in that. I mean, but Borking Wicked would be quite amazing. Yeah. So, yeah.
Like, you put on the entire production in your stream?
Yeah. So I'm going to get some help for that. So I obviously couldn't do that by myself. But if you...
Laura Wiley.
You beat me.
She's
too.
like a human jukebox. Like, she could do pretty much every Broadway possible.
Yeah. Borking Gravity, Aaron. That's perfect. That's perfect.
That's exactly what I was thinking about, Aaron, when you said it. I was like...
Borking Gravity is excellent, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, so I'll reach out to Laura when she's back from her incredible tour of Europe, and then which, yeah, a lot of folks are gel right now, but that's kind of what the idea. We're just going to kind of, like, put together a production, and then as we sing these songs, like, I'll replace specific words with Bork, and then maybe
I love this.
Some friends can tag along and do songs, and we can do an entire production that way. So it's
my gosh.
It's a huge production that I'm really excited about. And to do it, just contribute your points in the chat. We are 55% of the way there, and we have 24 days left.
Do it, people. I just did it.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Liz, thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh,
my
good.
6-year-old's down here.
Oh, I love it.
What you doing, bud?
Here we Bork again. Borkamia.
Here we Bork.
You will be Borkular. Oh, that's great. That's actually pretty good.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much.
We're going to need some help trying to decide which of the productions we're going to Bork to. Like, Wicked is a really good call. Like, that's a good one.
No. What are you thinking, though? Like, before Wicked came into the conversation, what were you considering?
Hamilton, I think was one. I was thinking off the top of my head.
You have to Bork the word Hamilton.
Borkelton or Hamilbork, one of those.
Alexander Borkelton.
Yep, that's the idea. So, something like that, or I'm trying to think what other ones would be really good, like the sound.
He's already gone.
The Bork of Music, or the Phantom of the Bork, or
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot you could do.
There's a lot of potential here. Avenue Bork.
Avenue Bork would be so up. It's up the same alley, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like it would be the Bork of Mormon. The book.
Oh, potato. That was really good.
It's good potato. We could go all day with
I
this.
like this.
This is great. Okay.
I love this. Into the Bork.
Yep, into the Bork.
Yep.
The last 5 Borks.
These are so good.
5 Borks.
This is so good. Sir Bork-a-lot.
Sir Bork-a-lot, absolutely perfect. Yeah. I
am not throwing away my Bork.
I'm not throwing away.
Aaron. I want to contribute as much as possible to this ever. I'm just gonna be starting to randomly chat in chat just to get more points. Here we go. We're just gonna do this. I'm just gonna randomly Bork things.
Oh, thank you for the points. Thank you.
Good job, CT.
Hey, you know what? I got an idea. Hold on a second. Let me do something here. I got an idea. Give me just a second.
Which one's the I Bork alone all by myself? All I can hear is all by myself. It's not that one.
My Bork. All right. So if you want to get the word out about this, I will do this for you. I am going to one time. I'm only doing it because it's you.
I mean, the Filthy Soap Word Challenge is almost done, people. I mean, you have to tell me about all these things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're working. I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. But basically, it's like, it's either we're going to try to go as long as we can, like what you're doing basically, is try to stay clean as long as we can, or try to be as dirty as we can for like 30 minutes.
Oh, just come into my stream. Just come hang out in my... You'll be fine.
You're right. I'll learn how to do it.
The Phantom of the Opera is
So
here.
you are going to get one of these.
Oh.
You're getting... There you go.
Oh.
And with it comes a Bork emote, so please enjoy. And you can hang out.
Oh my gosh. I get to Bork.
You do.
I'm going to find the Bork. I see the dun. Oh. Oh, that's exciting. Look at that Bork. Did you make that?
No, our friend Jade Tile made it. Jade's a great
Jade
friend of the...
Tile.
Yeah. Can we give a shout out to Jade in the chat, Aaron?
I feel like, thank you for that gift.
Yeah.
That was so kind of you, Davey.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like I should, like, break out my sandwich for you.
Hey, let's do it. It's a great time for that. It's funny you mention that because it is exactly the time for our staple of the sandwich show. And I'm hungry right now, Liz, so I think it's the perfect
Well, yeah, for
opportunity.
you, it's dinner time.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's do it. It's time for the...
Oh,
Again, I've done it again.
look at this. Look at this. I'm loving this.
It's kind of like that piano went off key there for a bit there, but
It does that because it's MIDI. MIDI bends on streams. Have you noticed that?
I have actually noticed that. Actually, to be honest with you, yeah. So,
Yeah.
All right. So it's time for sandwich of the week, and Liz, I'll give it to you first.
Okay. So tonight I made a gluten-free spaghetti with kale from our garden, like a garlic rubbed kale, and fresh fruit salad, and my homemade bread with wonderful Parmesan cheese, and sat down with a family. And then all of a sudden our doorbell rings because our DoorDash arrived. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I had to get a sandwich for Davey is eating a sandwich. So this is brought to you by Agriculture.
Ooh.
It's not my favorite one, but they deliver. And tonight's meal, because I only ate part of our dinner, I just ate a bunch of garlic rubbed kale. It's a chicken banh mi.
Ooh.
Right?
Look at this.
My absolute favorite sandwich is the roadside fresh baguettes with fresh cheese, like brie cheese, on the side of the road in France. Couldn't get that tonight.
Right on.
So instead, we have chicken, and it's some type of fish sauce, but I think they do more like an aioli garlic. There's jalapeno, so I might cry. There's this carrot and cilantro. And should I open this for you? Is that weird? Is it ugly that way?
No. I'm down with it. Let's see.
Cucumber. And cucumber.
Ah, I see the cucumber.
And then it's on a fresh baguette. So this one's like not super fresh because it was like delivered about an hour and a half ago, but it has like this crispiness. And my friend, who is second generation Vietnamese, like his mom immigrated here, she would make us fresh banh mi's. So hers were the best. But I lost her phone number. Otherwise, I'd be like, "Hey, can I have a banh mi?" Which would be weird. Just a random phone call.
Just the
So
timing of it.
Pinball agrees.
Yeah, I love a good
that
banh mi too.
They love a good banh mi,
Yeah.
right?
Great call, Liz. That's a great call. Banh mi's awesome.
Thought Storm says, Composey's here like peanut butter and chocolate. Oh, you like peanut butter and chocolate. Peanut butter and chocolate. Oh, like Nutella? That's really good.
Yeah,
Am I supposed to eat this now on stream?
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. And while you do that, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have. And
Lincoln, you haven't had bread in a year? Oh, you poor thing.
you know, but keep up. I have you, Lincoln. Are you a Lincoln 32? I was wondering if you might be the same Lincoln that because I think I've seen you before. But anyway, I totally understand. I'm feeling you there. I was on a low bread thing for a long time. And oh, you are? Okay, great. Good to see you again, Lincoln. Welcome in. How you doing? Pretty good artist. But here's my sandwich. It's a buffalo chicken Italian hero type sandwich on this incredible bread.
Whoa.
Yeah, this bread's amazing.
Did you make this?
No, I wish I could take credit for that. This comes from
That is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. This comes from a deli called Bay City's Deli. It's in Santa Monica, so it's not far from you at all. So. They just have the best sandwiches. We had a fellow Boyan the Bard on the show, and he also was a big fan.
Boyan!
You know Boyan? Okay, super
I
cool.
do know Boyan.
That's
He's so cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Are those pickles in the middle?
Yes, there are pickles in the
Oh.
sandwich. I love pickles, so I'm down with that too. So it's got the Italian dressing. You have the lettuce, tomato, and the buffalo chicken, and I believe there's some provolone cheese in there someplace. I'm not sure though. But then all the accompaniments is really, really good. And spicy peppers. So let's eat. Let us enjoy.
Lincoln, Rome also doesn't eat gluten, so they are also super hungry and wanting bread too.
Yeah. Now I hear. I mean, it is tough. Aaron says no bread for a year. I would be dead.
Me too,
Yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah.
I make our bread, and like it's a staple in our house. Like it's a protein source, basically the way that I make it. So I don't know how to not live with bread. So I'm very appreciative of all of you who don't, for good reasons. I just think I
Absolutely.
would also probably not succumb very well.
Absolutely, 100%. Roman says, you're making me so hungry and missing good bread so much. And thank you, Penwell, for the kind words. Both excellent looking sandwiches. Well done. Well, I give all the credit to the deli. I don't get much credit for it, but definitely they did a great job with it. And then Aaron says, rule number 1 of the sandwich show, bring a snack because you will get hungry. That's what we do. We make people hungry here.
I'm good with the interview. I'm just going to go and eat my sandwich now. I've had a banh mi forever.
It looks really good. It looks really good. I mean,
it does. I'm not going to eat the whole thing on one stream though, because that's overindulgent.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the combination of the cilantro and the vegetables with that fish sauce, whatever they have. Like, oh, it's so good. And then the jalapeno just bites. It's funny. Before I had kids, I thought ketchup was too spicy. But as I get older, I like a good jalapeno. Go figure.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that. Like, so you can get spicier food now than before.
Oh, yeah. And appreciate it.
That's great. That's great.
I've never been interviewed while eating a sandwich.
Well, I appreciate you embracing the segment, because, like, I know, understandably, some people get self-conscious when they're eating on stream. I get it. I totally get it. It makes sense. Like people are gonna watch me eat. That's like, that seems kind of odd, but
yeah, I have a thing against lip smacking because I had a principal who would make us go to Monday and Friday morning. Like we basically had mass, and she would read from scripture, and she'd smack her mouth like right up against the microphone.
Oh no.
And we'd have to sit there for like 40 minutes and just listen to her lips smacking. And she was eating the microphone. And she'd talk so slowly, and then she'd process and smack more. So I have a thing, like, I don't want anyone to hear me lips, like, smack my mouth.
No, I completely sympathize with that. And, you know, when you talk about, like, the acoustics in a room like that, when you're doing that kind of speech, oh my goodness, that would be painful after a while.
Right? And Thought Storm said the same thing. Mouth sounds are they're rough.
Yeah.
Mesophonia? Do I have mesophonia? Maybe I do. Like the fear of the smacking noises?
Fear of the smacking noises? I don't know. I mean, it might just be, you know, when you have really good hearing, like you'll notice things like that more, like little rustles and ASMR type things.
Okay, check this out. Misophonia is a condition in which individuals experience intense anger and disgust when they're confronted with sounds made by other human beings. Chewing, lip smacking, or breathing may cause intense anger. And whoa!
Wow, that's wild.
I don't get angry. Well, I get a little irritated. But then, like, I just let it go because I mean, when you have 3 kids, it's your life of letting things go.
Well, that's...
Bye, Fart!
Fart, it's good to see you. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you.
Happy studying and working on homework.
And best
go get a sandwich.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. Have a sandwich as you do this. If you can. If you're gluten-free, then I understand. Or if you're keto or what have you. Yeah. Aaron says, oh, God, that gave me school assembly flashbacks. Right? It totally tracks. Oh man, those are the days. But yeah, have a good night. Yeah, absolutely, Fart. Take care of yourself. One of the friendliest names with that kind of acronym I can think of. He's a very nice guy, though. He really is. It's really cool.
Fart is the kindest soul.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm pro team Fart over here. Potato, thank you for the reminder. The wine was above the keyboard. Were you there for that, Davey?
Don't know. I'm not sure, but I know you had the tea. I noted the tea. So this is drink number 2.
This is drink number 2.
Okay.
And then I have a giant mason jar of water.
Ah, excellent.
Rome, it's an atlas. We have an atlas jar.
Ah.
There's a thing about Atlas. Um, I had a rosé back in the spring, this a red,
Mm-hmm.
pink wine,
Mm-hmm.
and it was on my desk above my MIDI. And I got a big raid. Like, welcome in, raiders. Let me plug in my guitar. And I plugged in my guitar and moved my guitar neck and spilled the wine all over my keyboard.
Oh
It was
no.
a red, actually. It was a red wine. And like everything is connected, so interconnected that it basically shut my stream down in like 4 minutes. It's like, nothing works. So we were pulling cords and plugs, and Motzi was right there, and he like disassembled the whole keyboard. And I just like did all of my streams off the Yeti. So it's
Oh
like,
my goodness.
we're gonna keep going acoustic, and it was okay. We took everything apart and dry alcohol swabbed all the red wine, but I'm not supposed to have any wine above my instruments now.
So there's a story behind this wine. That's wild. And what's interesting, but we have a redeem for Bean Boozled. We will get to that in a moment. But before I do,
Yes,
oh,
do
you're
it,
excited?
do it.
This is excited about it. I love that. I love that.
That's because I don't have to do it. You do.
Yeah, just
I'm just gonna eat my cilantro.
very fair point. But you mentioned spilling beverage all over your keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's happened over here too.
Really?
Yeah, there's a clip. So one day I was trying to do the Mentos trick, and I was too close to the keyboard, and the Diet Coke went all over the keyboard. And just like yourself, my stream was unstable until I unplugged the keyboard because it was changing all the scenes. It didn't, because the keyboard had liquid all over it. So yeah,
I'm so sorry.
no, it's all right.
That happened to you. Oh.
Yeah.
So
but-
you put the Mento in like the Coca-Cola?
Well, I can even show it to you. Like, let me just show it to you. Okay, so
Do it.
folks, this is what happened. All right, so let me just go. Let me click this over here. We'll play this. Hopefully, I can do this in the right spot. Give me just a second. Hold on, I gotta turn this down first. Okay, so we're gonna go. Hold on. Okay, so let me just open this. Okay, so now this is what happened. This is what happened. All right, so this is me trying to do the Mentos trick, and then this is me not understanding the geography of what my room looked like at the time. So here I am, trying to do
So
this.
excited.
To the Diet Coke bottle. Oh my! Whoa!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
All right, so one is enough. Good times, good times. Yeah, and like I was saying, I had to go to my backup keyboard in order to do the rest of the stream. It was nuts. That was nuts. Good times. Oh my goodness! And not
Wow.
surprisingly, the Mentos trick gets redeemed tonight too. So we
Right now?
yeah. So we'll do them both. We'll do them both. One and done, Davey. Yeah, absolutely. So Liz, let me.
Back far away.
Oh no, wait! I got to figure it out now. Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with that. So here's the deal. So
Jobsy.
Jomsy in the chat. What's going on? We have a custom for Jomsy. Let's give Jomsy a shout out, everybody. Jomsy's going to be joining us on karaoke too. Jomsy.
Okay, I have to check out this
Super
karaoke.
cool.
When is the karaoke happening?
Saturday at 8:00 Eastern, so 7:00 Central.
I will be tent camping, but I will be thinking of you in spirit.
Hey, thanks so much. Now, I think your tent camping expedition sounds great too. It'd be really fun. So
Me and 3 kids by myself. Yeah, should be really good. Wish me luck.
Oh my goodness, Godspeed. You think, you have to, I should think about the ramifications of what your family situation is. All right. So I got
Not 2
two.
doesn't tent camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So here's how, so Jonty, how you doing? Jonty's a tremendous musician and also a filmmaker. He is incredible. He's incredible people. And
a story reader too.
Yeah. Have you been to the bedtime stories? Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, they're so peaceful.
Yeah.
Like, what a great environment.
That's great. It's a great hang. Go follow Jomsy on Twitch immediately. It's a really fantastic time. But it's so good to see. Dude, yeah, 100%. Well, you're kind too. Thank you.
Did you see Potato's trick? That's
Mentos,
so
that
mean.
reminds me of the thing. If you want to be a butt, make ice with Mentos in the middle. When you serve soda to guests, it's a Mentos time bomb. Oof. That's
so mean.
That'd be wild. So anyway, Thought Storms, good to see you in the chat. I appreciate. Yeah, that would be I need to see that on YouTube somewhere. But anyway, let's do this first. So I'm gonna do. So this is the bean boozled. So I think you're already familiar with it. So there are two beans in here. The blue one is an easy one. It's toothpaste. So I'm gonna give that to you, virtually. Please take. Enjoy.
Okay, I
Okay,
took.
got it. Okay, so you got the toothpaste one. Now for me, I've got this one, which is either
minty.
buttered. Do you like it? Okay, cool. This is either buttered popcorn or it is boiled egg. Let us find out which one it is.
Ooh, I don't even like buttered popcorn.
Yeah, Aaron's right. Like, I am banned from eating the blue one, so I have to give them to other people. So, it's too easy. That's why.
It's always toothpaste.
It's either toothpaste or berry blue. So it's like it's either toothpaste or it's even better than toothpaste. So it's like, yeah, that's kind of bullshit, to be honest with you.
Okay,
So,
that is.
Anyway, let's go ahead and put this one in. God.
Uh-oh.
So it's spoiled egg.
Oh.
But like you said,
Now, just to be super clear, not B boiled egg, but SP spoiled
rotten
egg.
egg. Yeah, to be more precise. Ooh.
Oh, Aaron's very excited. Aaron, you are a very fun mod.
Yeah, right? Oh, Aaron's the best. It's great to have Aaron here tonight.
You want the downfall of Davey is basically what I'm getting from this.
She's being a proper mod. That's what mods do. Mods have to troll. Mods and trolling.
Lincoln, you can have all of mine. If I ever get... I hate the buttered popcorn, so you can just have them all.
Yeah. I love that. Oh, by the way, Aaron's going to be in the karaoke this as well.
Really?
Yeah, true story.
Really?
Aaron's going to be part of that as well. It's going to be a great group. We have a great group. I mean, so we mentioned...
Is it every Saturday?
No. That'd be a lot of work. We do it once every 2 months. So...
Okay.
So it's a big event. So we'll have some promos on Instagram about it after the show tonight. But Aaron will be part of it. Johns will be part of it. Our friend Luke, LJP Music, hopefully will be part of it. We've got CT Pinball. The LG Music, who was just on the front page yesterday. It was incredible.
Whoa. That's exciting.
And many more. You'll see more details in the chat in a moment. But okay, so let's do the Mentos trick.
Mods don't have to troll, Rome. No, mods don't.
Yeah, it's more of an understood thing. Absolutely, yeah.
But you know what? I feel like mod trolling is like, because you know your stream friend so well. That's like, it's loving trolling. Some of my mods do that sometimes.
Now, what was it that Aaron missed? I didn't catch what Aaron missed, but...
Being allowed to troll?
Oh, I missed that. No, absolutely. I mean, it's what mods do. But but I'm here for it. I'm just good at making terrible jokes as Roman. Okay, so this is the Mentos trick. So we have 2 tablets here, and we're gonna put them into this. Caffeine in my drug. Let's give Caffeine a shout out too. What's going on, my friend? Caff, good to see you. Oh, no, he was on the front page. He was, and it just kind of snuck up on me too. So I was hosting it yesterday, but yeah, he was on the front page yesterday. Like I didn't.
Oh.
It kind of snuck up on me. Like I was just like on Twitch. I was just like, okay. So I'm on Twitch and like, hey, wait, LG's on the Twitch. And it just said that I hovered over it, and the caption said he was on the front page. Like that's a bad job on my end. Like I should have known that and promoted the hell out of it. But it was great to see him. It was great to see him.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm bummed. I'm bummed I didn't catch the whole thing. I missed like part of it because I didn't catch it until it was too late. So I'm in the same boat to a degree. Anyway, here's the Mentos trick.
Okay,
I'm much more calculated Mentos trick. Let's see how this goes.
It's funny because I'm watching it delayed. Oh, okay. How much spilling did that do?
It was quite a scene here. It got, unfortunately, some of my bedspread took it. Just a little bit of it. The French did.
Oh, your clean white bedspread.
That's all right. It's all right. It can live. I got some bleach. We can make it work. That got a little messy. Oh my goodness.
It was quite lovely though.
It's fun, and the good thing is I got an office mat underneath, so it's no harm, no foul as far as the floor is concerned. So
that was the second thing I was thinking. Is like, is that carpet? Oh no! Oh no!
I know.
Look at all the love and the claps that just came.
Hey, thank you for
I'm so glad.
Thank you for the claps, everybody.
So glad I don't have a Mentos check because there's way too many instruments around me. It would just make me cry.
I know it. So, thank you so much. I got some bleach. I can make it work. Aaron, if you would do the honors for us.
There you go. I love it.
Well, Aaron, thank you so much for the redeem. I hadn't done Mentos in a while. It's been a minute. Thank you for the Bork emotes.
Formerly white bedspread.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe you could like tie-dye it or something. I'm really just trying to get more channel points so I can contribute to your Bork.
Yeah.
I want to Bork the stream.
I love it.
So where did the Bork come from?
Oh wow, that's talking about karaoke. It came from karaoke night. So the one we did in February was a love themed edition, and so I had a fun idea of like just taking a song and replacing certain words, just like we were talking about with the Broadway. So I did a song called "Everything I Do It For You" from Bryan Adams, and so instead of like I replaced Bork with some of the words, and the entire chat room and everybody on the stream lost it, and then we got like 3 raids in a row. Like it was just a crazy night, and we did this. I performed this song multiple times. So
oh my gosh, wait, this one, I'm not sure if you can hear it.
No, that's Richard Marx.
That one.
Bryan
That's
Adams.
the very first song I ever learned how to play.
Really?
On the piano.
That's a great song. Yeah.
3.
You were 3 years old?
Yeah.
That's
My dad was
amazing.
a pastor, and at the end of the sermon,
Yeah.
at the end of the service, I just walked up to the piano. I was like, "This is what I'm hearing on the radio."
Aww. That's
Get
so
away from the
cool.
piano.
Yeah, that song was a jam. Like that ballad.
Oh no, that's everything I do it for you. I do it for you.
Yeah.
One?
So everything.
Yeah.
So it's true. Everything I bork it for you. So that's basically what I was doing.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I'll put the
80s.
maybe I should put that up on there too on the chat.
I feel like you should.
I will. Yeah. It was pretty ridiculous.
Junior high dances. Yes, from Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And that voice, like that scratchy male voice that was so characteristic at the end of the 80s and the early 90s.
Yeah.
I'm manly. It doesn't have to be manly, but it was like, that was like the quintessential desirable sound.
Oh, yeah. It was, you know, I would die for you. I'd lie for you. Why for Bork? Instead of you, I say Bork. So, why for Bork? Yeah, die for Bork. It's kind of like what I was doing.
The word "you" is what you borked.
Well, it borked different things. Like, let me just put the clip on there. I think that would make the most sense. So let me see. Here it is. I think I got it.
Oh, there. Aaron was saying, here's the thing. He borked the song and everyone was dying of laughter. Then you got a raid. You made him do it
and then I did it again. And then we got
poor
another
thing.
raid, like at the end after that. It was just ridiculous. It was a crazy night. So there's the clip.
There's the clip.
Yeah. I don't know why I did it in bed, but that's the clip of the Bork song I did. And
you had Carlo there.
Oh my goodness, Carlo was great. It was so great to see him. Yeah, and he was running with it. He was like writing up like gags for Bork gags, like after the rest, like for the next 2 hours. He was just
my gosh.
Yeah. Is Jade here? Jade, what's going on? Welcome in. So Jade is the one who designed the Bork emote. And
Jade, I love your Bork emote.
It's so good to see it. So this is Composey, a music teacher and a musician, and very cozy vibes over on Composey's channel. And it's
You're kind.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's true too, but I appreciate. Yeah. So, so you talk about some of the influences you've had, and you mentioned a bunch of them on your page, which is really, really far and wide-reaching. And you talk about some of the genres, like you love. Sounds like you love like ballads and 80s stuff, so that's cool. And then
raised with that.
I think we all. I mean, I'm probably similar age, and yeah, I'm pretty much the same.
Yeah,
pretty much the same.
83,
82, pretty close.
Yes,
pretty close.
Yeah,
how about
pretty
it?
Close.
Yeah. So yeah, isn't that it's just so interesting? Like that was just all. That was the whole thing. But yeah, and then you mentioned Jethro Tull, which is like that was something I was not ready for that one, but that's but it's a great band. I really like Jethro Tull too. And then Billy Joel, the Beatles, clearly. I think you put them in there. You know,
I did.
Elton John, I think.
A little, not
Not
too
as much.
much.
Okay, never mind.
So I was supposed to be a pastor because I come from like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, 5 generations
Mm-hmm.
of pastors. It was from multiple different faith backgrounds. And so I was raised in a very religious background
Mm-hmm.
where we weren't able to listen to radio music as much, just because as a kid, you hear a bunch of weird stuff. And I was deeply involved in ballet and classical music. And so my whole childhood was classical music, except for when my dad was working at church and my mom would blast Beatles, Suzanne Vega, Jethro
Mm-hmm.
Tull. Such as some really
That's
classics.
an unusual combination. Like Suzanne Vega, my name is Luca, and then the Beatles.
Right? I live on the second floor. I live upstairs from you. I can sing that whole song. I didn't even realize it was about abuse.
It's a
Forever.
sad song. It's so
You
sad.
hear something they- Yeah, that's
Yeah, poor little
yeah.
kid. You know.
Right.
But yeah.
I did many different in middle school auditions with what is it? I am sitting at the diner on the corner.
Yeah, the
I
diner
am-
song. Yeah.
That one.
Da, 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 da,
Exactly.
da, da. Yeah, I know that song. Yeah, I know that one.
But yeah, I was really supposed to listen to, Dwem, dead white European male music, like Bach, Beethoven, Chopin.
Oh, I gotcha.
And-
I gotcha. Yeah.
Right. So I was so blasted with that music that when I went off to college, I started to open up my ears to other things. And
Mhm.
It was the best thing ever. That's got a good crunch, that sandwich.
Oh, that was the Fritos.
Oh, I was gonna say, whoa.
I know that would have been something if it was a sandwich.
But yeah, my ears just like sound.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Not bad sound. Not pop music. The 1-4-5 chords are kind of boring.
Oh, that's so
Sorry.
that now. This has been talked about before in the Twitchverse, like the progression of 1-4-5 or one. What was the other one? 1-4-6-5 or 1-4-6 something else.
Yeah, every now and then they do something like 5-5. Yeah.
What would be some examples of the progression you just mentioned? 1-4-5, like if just like to help our audience that are not.
Yeah. So basically, well, this is all based on Western European notation. So
Mhm.
let's just be it's very ethnocentric in the sense of like European music and then scale degrees. But most music that we hear, like especially in the United States, is based on a scale degree. So 1 is the root chord. So in a C scale, there's 1. 4 is 4 steps up. So C, D, E, F. And that's the F chord. So that's 4, the 4th chord. So you have 1 and 4. And then the 5th scale degree is G. C, D, E, F, G. And the G chord. And a lot of music and pop music is just based on those songs. I'm sorry, my music teacher brain just went to row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And like most kids' music is 1-4-5. But then we did, what are some? I just totally messed up all of my pop music references. Davey, can you give me a song that's really simple, a pop song that we love? Oh,
Let It Be, right? Because isn't that kind of like around this?
no, the Beatles did fun things. That's why
Okay.
we like the Beatles,
Okay,
because
okay.
they always threw some really surprising chords at you, like the 5th degree of the 5th chord, which is D, which is chord based on 2. But gosh, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. There's A, which is the 6th scale degree you talked about. I'm made of plastic. It's fantastic.
Right.
You can brush my hair and dress me everywhere. Imagination,
wow.
life is your creation.
Okay.
And it's just 1-4-5 with a random minor 6. A minor
So
in there.
I would say then that is it safe to say, as Kath is saying, that the most obvious example would be "Don't Stop Believin'," because that is exactly that. Or
Yeah. What is it? Don't stop believing. I could
it
just look
starts
up
at the
really
E and then it goes. What is it? B and then.
quick. Yeah. They were fun. Don't stop believing. Oh my gosh. Who wrote that? What band? Why did I just Journey, right? Hey, Beb. Matzi. Do you need me?
Oh, sorry. Who was that?
Oh, Matzi was just coming in.
Oh, right on. All right.
He was just grabbing his stuff because he's got a phone call. E, B. So if we were just to take that down to the C, Yeah, pretty much. Yep. C, G, A minor, F, E minor. So it has
Yeah.
the sixth scale degree with A minor and the third scale degree with E minor. Um, just a small town girl
I love this.
living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Yeah.
so, so that's right on point. So that's exactly the one you don't like. Like, that's interesting.
Which is funny because like everybody loves a good Journey song, but it's really a lot of those songs are based on. And I don't want to be a snot. It's not that I don't like those songs. It's just that my ears get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so predictable that I love the Beatles when they start to throw in some really different influences and make your ears a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
Composey, lovely meeting you. Oh, bye, Aaron. Go enjoy your sandwich.
Aaron, have a great watch party too. Have a great one. It's so good to see you again, Aaron. Folks, don't forget to also follow Aaron, who also streams and loves to snark listings on Zillow. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, go give Aaron a follow. And
wait, what'd you say about Zillow?
She snarks Zillow listings because like there are like these really large, grotesque like houses that
done. Followed.
She pokes fun at like extremely gaudy houses on Zillow, which they deserve, of course, as you know.
Lincoln, you're right though. Every cover band does Journey because Journey's so popular.
Yeah.
And like, if you want to get anywhere, that's why like piano bars are so popular because you're doing all the covers. I'm just saying that my personal preference is something that's a little bit more. It pulls you in interesting ways.
I'm with it. And Erin said that she wants to go hang out with you too next time you're on stream. So that's really great to see.
Yay! I'll be back next week.
I love it. Erin, you're going to love it. I mean, Composey's awesome. So
thanks.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go ahead and open the queue. So now it's time for the chat to ask some questions. So, Jade, get ready. You ready to dance? You ready to do the dance, everybody?
Good night, Jade.
Oh, you do, Erin. Oh, Jade's out of here too. Okay, Jade, have a great one. Let me go ahead and shout you out.
Yay.
I'll go ahead and do the shout out, Aaron. Let me go ahead and take care of that. I love it. Thank you very much for following Aaron too, and don't forget to follow Jade as well. Just incredibly talented people.
Jade, you are very talented with your art.
Yeah, really good.
So true.
I mean, these emotes that Jade does are amazing. So I completely agree with that. So now, everybody out in the chat, if you would like to ask a question of Composey, this is your chance. So let's do it in what we call America's favorite moment in Twitch broadcasting. There it is.
I'm liking that.
Thank you very much. Here we go. And let's ask anything.
Where did you get this from? That's amazing.
A jingle company. I bought it from a jingle company. So there's
no way.
Yeah. So I contacted them. Hey, do you do cuts for like individuals? And like, yeah, sure. And it's like you just replace the lyrics of a radio jingle with that, and then it becomes.
What?
Isn't that cool?
That's really cool. Way to go! You're like legit with your talk show. Like this is so cool.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy with that jingle because it perfectly punctuates like what we're about to do, and let's go ask some questions, everybody. So if you have a question, the way you do it, write exclamation point question followed by your question in the chat and push enter. Make sure to push enter, and then we'll answer them in order in the queue. Let us know what you.
But I think before we even do it, I want to know the same thing Thought Storms wants. There are still jingle companies, yes. That's super cool. About how much do they charge per jingle?
Well, that is why I only have one because it's not exactly cheap. It's not expensive, but it's not exactly cheap. So,
right,
it would be the neighborhood. I can give you a ballpark figure. It's probably the neighborhood of $350. So that's something I considered an investment for. Yeah.
Because usually it's like $100 per or $50 per time session. Mm-hmm. So they're just kind of saying it would take them this much time.
Yep. And since the track's already in there, like you're really just doing the vocal sessions at that point. You're just redoing the lyrics. You do have to rewrite the music though, because you have to do the timing of like when you say certain syllables and so on. So there's a lot of work involved. So
did you give them a timestamp of what you wanted, or did you leave it open-ended?
No, basically you just look at the lyrics that are laid out for the original jingle. So you get the sheet with like the cue sheets that should have the words that were in the original radio jingle, and then you just like you replace them line by line, like you like syllable by syllable. Like so, instead of blah blah blah, you write do the dance, and then it's time for random questions, and then you just kind of go from there. So it's like instead of this words, use this, and I even like spaced out the syllables so that it would be. So that the timing would be right on point. And these guys, so the company's called Jam Creative Productions. And if you've ever listened to the radio, particularly in the 80s and 90s, you've definitely heard from them because they've done a lot of famous radio jingles for a lot of big time radio stations. So I'm trying to think, were there any in Minneapolis? Maybe
Put it in the chat.
Yeah. Jingles.com.
Yeah, they sound familiar.
Yeah.
They sound familiar. It's so cool, like how they put that together.
Yeah, it's a great program. Like so any streamer can do the same thing. They can like if they want to jingle, it says so and so is about to do some marbles on stream. That can be like a radio jingle too. So
what?
Yeah,
I love this. I mean, because this is the first year I spent in the studio making the album, I got to learn so much about vocal over like extra cuts and layovers and all these things that I didn't have any clue to do prior to making a CD.
Look at this. Look who's in the chat.
I'm sorry. I got super lost.
No worries, but I love this. I love your appreciation of the process. And
play Don't Stop Believing.
Play Don't Stop Believing. It's not in the queue, in the...
I will gladly do it, but I have a song for Davey, too.
Oh, that's right.
I have a song for Davey.
Oh, my goodness. But... Pinball also asked, is the jingle an iambic pentameter? Would you know based on what you heard?
Oh, wait. Iambic, that's lyrical. Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking about that. Is the jingle in we'll play it again. Wait, what is iambic pentameter again?
Well, let me play. Let's go ahead and play it again. And then...
Wait. Before you play it, definition. Iambic pentameter is the type of metric line used in traditional English poetry and verse drama. The term describes the rhythm or meter established by the words in that line. Rhythm is measured in small groups called feet.
Mm-hmm.
Batter my heart, 3% God for you. Wait, what? That sounds weird. I'm not even sure what I'm reading. It was an example one. So what we're looking for is... Are they even? Is that what we're looking for? Delight the sun, forlorn, one day release. Okay, so there's a very clear rhythm. Okay, play it again. Let's hear if it means...
Okay, let's see if it matches the mantra of the iambic pentameter. All right.
5 sets of stressed syllables.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do the dance. It's time for random questions. Good stuff. Ask us anything.
Way beyond iambic pentameter.
Okay.
Do the dance. It's time for random questions. I don't think it is.
Okay.
Because like the example was delight the sun, forlorn, one day release, and that's it, right? Do the dance. It's time for random questions. Is 6, right?
Yeah, that's more syllables, I think. Because isn't it like 5/7? Like, did I remember there being 5/7 involved?
The delay, I just saw my face being like, right?
Let's see. Jomsy says, if you want a good education on how iambic pentameter is constructed, you'll hear an amateur Shakespeare performance. You'll hear all the people in that show stressing the syllables way too much.
Rahomo says, I think that's
Rahomo's
right.
in the chat. What's going on, Rahomo? How you doing?
I feel like you need to do a future field trip to an amateur Shakespeare and just like keep your streaming camera down low.
Yeah, stream it. We're streaming it. Incognito.
Take shots every time you hear the pentameter.
We're gonna be drunk, man. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. So good to see you, Rahomo. Welcome in. This is Composey. Incredible musician and teacher, and as you can see, she knows a lot about music theory too. So,
I don't know if I do.
Oh, okay.
But thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Jomsy says that sounds like a fantastic way to get alcohol poisoning.
Jomsy, I feel like you're right.
Oh, good times.
Oh my gosh, I love these questions. I love these questions so much. I can't wait.
We have a really good queue. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, so question number 1. So this is from Mommy Samurai. Welcome in, by the way. Mommy Samurai.
Mommy.
Great to see you back. And
I'm a mommy too.
love it. So the question is, tell us about magic chords progression, please.
Magic chords?
What makes them magic?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Magic chords, like, are we talking about the app? Tell me more. Mommy, tell me more. Like the chord installation process?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind elaborating on that, we'd appreciate it. Oh, okay, so it says EMCGD. EMCGD. So E minor, C, G, and D.
It's pretty. This is what it sounds like. 100 songs on 4 chords. I like it. What song is that?
It's Zombie.
It's Zombie.
I can have fun with this all day. I'll keep going. Yep, Chad got it too. You got it.
There you go.
Give me another one. Give us another one. Like I'll try to guess that too.
I don't know anymore. I have to think. Like I feel like that's where my brain went. I just have Zombie in my head. So, Mommy, what you're saying is 100 songs on 4 chords. I think it's really.
That's great.
It's based in G. So E minor to G would be G, A, B, C, D, E. It starts in the minor 6. G, B, E, G. Oh my gosh. G, A, B, C. So 6 to the 4th chord, to the 1st chord, to the 5th chord. And if that's... Here it goes. Oh.
That's so cool. Hey, look who's in the chat. Javi says, so the answer to the question of the tune's chorus is the tune itself impressive.
Yeah, the answer is the tune. I think it's a really fun one because it brings you, it does not start on the tonic. This is home tone. This is like your home, right? But instead, it starts in this iffy minor 6th chord that makes your ears kind of go, ooh, I'm unsettled. And from E to the C, it's like, oh, I feel settled. I'm home. But now I've moved somewhere different, which is the 5th chord, which the 5th chord is the second, it's like the leading into home. So I think the reason why it's so magical is because it brings you into that unsettled space that every human wants to talk about. Resolve, almost resolve, and then go back to unsettled. And I think that's probably why it's such a magical space.
Wow. I think I wonder if that's the same thing. Well, but let me stop for a moment to say hello to Dark Native. Welcome in, Dark Native. Good to see you.
I love Dark. They are amazing. If you all know Dark, I adore Dark. And all that they do for our community and for the Indigenous community as well.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Incredible advocate of Indigenous rights, which is amazing. It's such a you're a very valuable part of Twitch, my friend. So, Marhomo, can you give our friend Dark Native a shout out?
Mommy, I'm not sure if I really answered you other than the fact that that's how my ears translate it. So,
gotcha.
You're welcome. Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely follow Dark Native too. Streams multiple times a week and also features some cool music too from Indigenous peoples. It's really cool. Really cool.
Dark teaches me so much. Dark. I was in a little shop in the Twin Cities here called the Golden Fig, and they had smudge sticks. They had sage smudge sticks. And I thought of you the entire time, like, do I buy this from this store? I feel like I want to ask Dark their opinion on what they think, because I know that Dark has actually talked about how to use sage in a cleansing manner. And I want to go back. If you subscribe to Dark's channel, you get to watch all of their previous videos, which are amazing. Their VODs are amazing. So there's a conversation I will bother you about.
No worries. But yeah, I agree to all. The people in the chat have expressed very similar sentiments, so completely worth your time to go give a follow to our friend Dark Native and check out these cool discussions.
100%.
Now, let's continue in the queue.
Steve is here.
Many
Steve is an amazing friend. Steve and Jen and Eliza. They're a trio of fabulous human beings.
Does Steve stream as well? We can give Steve a shout out too.
Steve, do you stream? I don't think you stream. Steve is an amazing patron and supporter of artists.
Okay.
And musicians. And Steve brings his daughter Eliza to like amazing concerts.
Nice.
So we really kind of sort of maybe love Steve, Jen, and Eliza on my channel.
Well, it's really nice to meet you, Steve. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Sandwich Show. And we're really having a great time at the conversation with Composey tonight. So I'm glad you're here as part of it too. If you have a question for us, exclamation point question, and followed by the question itself, and you can also ask anything you'd like to. This is your golden moment because there is no music tonight. So
I know it seems weird. I have songs ready. Like I want to hold my instrument so badly. That's why you see my hands moving everywhere. It's like
I love it. You know, I feel it. I feel it. It's all good. I know you mentioned there's a song for me, which is completely above and beyond. Like, you know, I'm just a guy. I get that. That's really nice of you to do. But let's do that after a couple questions. So first.
Oh, sorry. I was reading Dark's answer. They said, my thoughts are medicine should never be purchased. It diminishes the spiritual effectiveness. I suggest organizing with neighbors and growing your own, then sharing with each other. Thank you, Dark.
Yeah.
See? This is Dark. They are so wise.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dark. Appreciate it.
There's a lot to that, and I do appreciate it too. So, okay, so let's go to Pinball's question.
Okay.
Who says, do you feel like being a teacher made you well prepared for streaming, or was it totally different?
Totally different. It's actually helped me be a better teacher. As an elementary teacher, especially, I have, there's so many parts that go into how I present myself as a teacher, because I want to make sure my students feel safe. I want to make sure that I am being the correct, wise guide in the space. And I'm also trying to be a person who is able to see and organize around many personalities at one time. When I'm streaming, and on top of that, I'm trying to elevate them and like help them build up their own courage and their own confidence. And so in my 15 years of teaching, it's always about getting the students on the stage and feeling like they are confident and excited to share a part of themselves in a really vulnerable way on a stage in front of hundreds of people. And I'm always off the spotlight. Like I'm off the stage. The kids can see like the bottom of my head because I trust them in those performances. And so when it came to streaming, I realized that I don't put myself on the stage. Prior to streaming, I couldn't even sing karaoke because I was too much of a perfectionist and afraid to perform in front of other people, even though super silly that I have my students perform all the time. And so it helped me put myself in their shoes and perform and make mistakes and kind of learn from the stage fright that we always talk about in a very singular manner. And it's helped me bring more authentically myself to my classroom and also to the stage, because I can really talk with them about, oh yeah, when I messed that up, or oh yeah, when I was in the studio, or when I was practicing with the band, or when I was doing a live gig. And we've been able to kind of partner up better as students to teacher relationships.
That's phenomenal. It does to me, absolutely. And so the ability to, I do think that your point, I think the overarching theme of this is that doing streams on Twitch really teaches you a lot. It teaches you how to work with technology. It teaches you how to speak. It teaches you how to judge like what's working, what's not working in terms of what do people want to hear. So there's a lot there, and I think it's really a valuable experience for everybody here who's done it. So really great sentiments.
I think in the artist world, the musician's world, so much of what I do is an expression of my inner self. And so I get stuck sometimes trying to think about what do other people want? What does the audience want? And that's when I usually fall into pitfalls and it doesn't go well. And if I'm true to myself and I'm performing from a place where I want to be there and I have something to share, it's so much smoother because it's more me. And that's why I'm streaming.
I love it so much. Caffeine, have a great night. So good to see you for a little bit of tonight. I appreciate you being here.
Good night, Caffeine. So good to see you.
Rahoma, can we give Caffeine one more shout out? Folks, he does stream as well. He has a lot of really interesting things going on his channel. So give Caffeine Is My Drug a follow as well if you could.
Sorry for the yawns. It's been a long day.
I want to tell you who else is in the chat, and it's someone you know and love very much. Jedi Master 450 is in the chat.
Nathan is here.
It's so cool.
Oh my gosh,
Jedi.
It's been forever. You've been so busy.
So for folks unfamiliar with Jedi collabs with Composey frequently. I'm pretty sure it's frequently, like in doing jazz.
It's been a little while.
It's been a bit.
But he's been busy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But we have collabed a few times, and it's always so much fun. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Very talented fellow, our friend Jedi is, and so yeah, it's good to see you too, Jedi. Welcome in. It's good to see you. So yeah, so they use this like platform, this different platform that reduces the latency so that you both can play off each other, like as you do the jazz works together.
He built that. He built that program.
Really?
Or he built into it. I forget how he did this, but Jedi's brilliant. And so like you didn't build the program. You did something. You did something more than anyone else I've ever met. I forget what it was. He like has his own server or something. It's ridiculous. Sorry, I don't want to misstep. Yes, you just set up the server for it. You're the first person to ever do that. It's amazing.
It's so pinball scoped out Jomulus. Yeah, so we use Jomulus.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would
It's
love
so
to.
cool. And every now and then there's like this big whoosh of wind that comes by. We never know what it is.
Small
We're
price
like,
to
it's
pay
just-
though, right? Like just
Yeah,
for
it's just a windstorm.
it's part of the sound. Like wind is like part of the sound in jazz sometimes. So you know.
Oh, I read your little bio about me. That's so sweet.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. But yeah, Kath, have a great rest of your night. I don't think I saw a shout out yet, so I'll just put one in for you.
Yes, it was so good to see you. I didn't realize you're a mod here, so that's really cool.
Yup. Yeah, and Jonesy, thank you for the resub. 5 months. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Oh man, above and beyond. Jonesy, my friend. Thank you so much for
Caffeine,
the resub.
I fixed it. Yes,
Yeah.
I had not been following caffeine, but now I definitely am. Jomsy!
Cool.
Yay!
Hey, I love it. So yeah, that's very nice of you, everybody. I really appreciate all the resubs tonight.
Yes, so much love.
Let's see. Is there now somebody? Steve, I think. Did you want a question?
I think Steve did put a question in.
Oh, okay. Is the question in there? I don't see it in there. But Steve, if you can repeat it, I can put the.
Pump it up!
Yeah, pump it up. I love it.
I love it.
Thank you for the 100 bits pinball as well. And we're close to hype trade. Uh-oh. You know what that means.
Pump it up!
Pump it up. Yeah. Just wanted to be able to pump things up. You are succeeding, Chomsky. I appreciate you. This is really great.
No, he's in LA, getting a sandwich in LA right now. I don't even want to know. Let's afford the sandwiches for Davey.
Oh, no, my goodness. Thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, Composey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, Pinball, thank you for the question. Great question. And Steve, I didn't catch your question. I see you in the queue, but I don't see the actual Oh, my goodness. Look what's happening here. It's a hype train. Oh, my
What do you do for
goodness.
hype trains here?
Well, that's
Oh my gosh.
it's very interesting you asked that question.
I have to take notes. I don't have on my own screen for a hype train. This is so cool. What
Thank
the
you.
world?
Thank you for the 300 bits. So we do trivia for hype train. So
Oh no, I'm terrible at trivia.
okay, well maybe
Okay, chat. No, we got this. No, we're gonna do it.
I think you can do it. I think you can do it. I can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a choice. You can do trivia about ducks, or you can do trivia about music. Which one do you? Thank you very much for the bits. Play Don't Stop Believin', and Jedi Master for 300 bits as well. Choo choo, mother truckers. So, which of the two would you like to do tonight?
You choose. I
think
mean,
I'll
music
do
I might have a chance, but
I
we could do
think
ducks
music
for
would
fun.
probably be the one you'll have a better shot at. So I'm gonna go with music. Yeah.
I don't know. There's very, very abysmal holes in my knowledge. Let's go find out together.
Well, let's try question number 1. I bet you know this one. This is so. By the way, if Composey gets one right, she gets a point. If the chat gets one right, I mean, if she gets one wrong, the chat gets a point. So that's how we'll evaluate the score tonight. Okay, so question 1: what are the two commonly used clefs in sheet music?
Oh, treble and bass.
Aha! You got one right. Out of the box.
There's also
Excellent.
alto.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There are other clefs as well. So you got 1 point. Question number 2: what is the best-selling music album to date?
Please tell me it's Beatles, but it's probably Michael Jackson.
Okay, Michael Jackson. What's the name of the album?
It's a Michael Jackson albums. I'm cheating.
Wait a sec. I'll allow it. You've been a
Off
great.
the wall. No, Thriller.
It is Thriller. You got it.
Is it really?
2 for 2.
Yes.
Pump it
I'm
up.
super excited.
Steve Sheffer, thank you for the 16 bits. And Billy Don't Stop Believing, thank you for the 100 bits. And Thoughtstorm, thank you for the 100 bits as well. Let's continue. All right, so...
I'm just excited I got Thriller right, so I have to throw
It's a
another
big one.
quiz in there.
No, you didn't have to do that.
Thriller!
I love it. Thank you for the 100 bits, Composey. Oh my goodness. Okay, so...
Oh my gosh.
Question 3. Which movie is often synchronized to the Pink Floyd album Dark Side of the Moon?
Dorothy, Wizard of Oz.
Yes! Got it again. 3 for 3. Well done.
Can't
All
believe
right.
I know this pastor's kid right here.
All right, so if you want to keep the questions going, just keep the hype train going. Thank you so much for your generous support, everybody. Okay, so next up, question 4: Who is the greatest selling country artist of all time? Another 100 bits. Oh my goodness.
No, let's just say Faith Hill, because let's just be not white man. I'm sure it's not.
You are sure, and you are you
Oh, I'm
are
probably
correct in
not.
that you're wrong.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Who was it?
Garth Brooks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Low hanging. I mean, it seems too obvious to be true, but in fact, it is actually Garth Brooks. Yeah. So
Johnsy loves the dark
Yeah.
side of the rainbow. Okay.
That's great.
That's okay. I'm okay with not winning that one.
okay. Next up, which South Korean boy band is either in the middle or just had an enormous world tour? Enormous world tour.
I don't know. I'm sure it's some letters put together to create a name.
You have it. You have you're on the right track. There are letters. It is letters. It's 3 letters. Give me 3 letters. Give me 3 if you were to give me 3 letters.
I don't have 3 letters for you. How about LMN?
No. Oh man.
Kitty!
Hey, friend Kitty,
Was it-
welcome in. Well, nice to meet you, Kitty. It is BTS. BTS.
BTS.
BTS.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not the one that's like breaking up, right?
I can't say. That's
One
I
of them
think
is breaking up.
I'll defer to the chat on that one.
I didn't know pinball. Romo, I didn't know.
CGT. I love Homo's response. Let's FG.
Yeah. CBD.
CBD. WTF. These are. I love all these letters. So 28 seconds left in the hype train. Let's see if we can keep it going with another
Okay.
24%. So I'll give you this one. What is the term for 60s British rock success in the U.S.?
What? 60s British rock success. What is the term?
Yeah, because it's been referenced a lot. So in the 60s there were a lot of British acts that were making it big in America. So what did they call it?
Brit?
Okay, Brit is in there. Yes, Brit is in Brit, and I'll even give you British. So it's a British something.
British hype?
Judges,
No.
no.
It's doing so well.
The British invasion. The British invasion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, no, I
Rolling
didn't
Stones, Herman's Hermits,
Giant,
the
massive
Beatles,
hole.
many
Which
bands.
I love the Beatles. I didn't realize that they're part of the British invasion.
No worries.
Close.
But
Reference.
three
Reference.
questions. Pretty good though. I'm pretty 3 questions down. 3 of them you had 3 of them right. 3 of them went to the chat. But overall,
3 for 3.
not too bad. Not too bad.
We'll
Not
call
too
it good.
bad. Well done, Liz. Thank you
It
very
was a pity clap. I really appreciate the pity clap. I was doing so well in the beginning. Too.
Yeah, it's true. 2 for 2 to start. That's right.
The
That's
British,
right.
yeah. Woo.
Thoughtstorm says the English infection.
I know.
That's great.
History, people. History.
Good times. But thank you so much
Thanks.
for all the hype, everybody, including yourself, Liz. Thank you so much for
That was
all the
fun.
bits.
I like that a lot.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. Yeah. So,
Don't mind my yawning.
all right. So, now, if you guys, so I'm going to get next to Lincoln's question, which
Okay.
is really, really good. The question is, what's your favorite age group to teach?
That is so hard. Kinders are adorable, but the first half of the year is like teaching them how to be in school. Second graders are cool because they're balancing the life of being young and playful and creative, and yet they are able to handle a lot more. They're starting to have like independence of thought big time, and being able to read is like a huge deal. Fourth graders crack me up. Sixth graders are hilarious. Okay, so, and then graduate students are fun because they actually want to be in school and they actually want to learn from you, which is super fun to teach people who actually want to be there. I'm gonna say second graders are my favorite.
Okay.
I think that they still have that magical joy of being in school, and yet they're still so creative and not inhibited. Like they're so able to just be themselves. Jen loves her some fifth graders. So Steve's wife, Jen, is a fifth grade teacher. I currently have not taught fifth graders for 4 years. Fifth graders are fun. I struggle with fifth graders only because in spring they become so incredibly Twitter-pated. And in this, I mean social drama hits, romantic drama hits, hormones hit hard, and voices begin to change. And then I'm trying to teach them how to sing collectively. And there's just so much drama and they don't want to work together because this best friend's become my frenemy and he told him something else. And it's like, oh my gosh, no. Just go home. That's my thought.
So they just reached that age where they can start to spread rumors and drama.
Ooh,
very interesting.
Get something from Davy's room with your 500. No, I'm not going to use my 500. I'm going to contribute to the Borkfest again.
Oh, thank you.
Go Borkfest, go. I renamed it Borkfest instead of Bork the Stream. Sorry.
Well, we have had Borkfest. Borkfest is a raid train we do every year, like in April.
Ah, okay.
So we basically...
Ouch. Davy, you do a lot.
Thanks.
Wow, Davy, you do a lot.
I appreciate you, Liz. Yeah, I mean, it's just fun. It's fun. I like to do, but somebody has redeemed this on your behalf. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thanks.
Jambi, thank you so much. I appreciate you. So this is Get Something from Davy's Room. Let's do that. And yes, please.
Very sweet.
You're welcome to add more points to the Bork Broadway production challenge. It's going really well. So keep on doing the thing and we'll bork some Broadway production. Anyway.
Yeah. What does it mean to get something from Davy's room?
Literally what it says. Let's go find something in my room, present it, show and tell. Just like, and being an elementary school teacher over your lifetime.
I love this game.
So I got this card for my birthday. And it says a long time ago. Star Wars, obviously.
Oh,
you were born.
Sweet. I really like this card.
You were born.
Oh.
It's all good. It was funny. I laughed really hard when I got that card. So,
that was good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That came from my sister and my brother-in-law, and he said, "Just kidding. 40 is awesome. 40 is the new 20." I'll buy that.
Right.
I'll take that.
That's exciting. You must have this year then turned 40.
Yeah, it just happened like in May. Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thanks. Well, look, it's not bad. I feel fine. Like I feel good, and I imagine at some point it happens for everybody. Hopefully, Lord
I feel
willing.
like 40's super cool because in your 20s you're still figuring out who you are, and many people, myself, and for me, not many. For me, my 30s were all about building a family and all the stressors that include with that. But 40, the family's built, they kind of established themselves. So now I get to have a little bit more fun. That's what I'm thinking. That's how I'm approaching 40s.
I dig it. Thought starts with a great comment, though. I've got cavities that are older than 40 years old.
There you go, Thought. There you go, Thought.
That's so good. Now, we've got a lot of questions in the queue, everybody. I really want to thank you for all your participation tonight. So how quickly can we do starting a lineup? Let's just do a couple questions. We'll do a couple more questions, then we'll get to...
I'll answer them quickly. I'm ready.
Okay. So we mentioned that Lincoln Lake TV. Thank you very much for your question. Really good. Potato asks, what's your favorite sundae? Like ice cream sundae, I think, is what Potato's asking.
I don't like ice cream sundaes.
Was this like a one of those kind of questions?
I don't know. My favorite sundae, is it Sunday or AE?
AE.
AE. Like on a blue moon on a super hot day, probably just like a plain ice cream sundae, right? Like the vanilla with the chocolate sauce and a cherry would probably be good. I feel like having a banana in the mix is kind of weird. I've had it. It's like, meh. I'm pretty plain. My favorite, like, dessert is key lime pie, hands down. Like, I will take a piece of key lime pie over a sundae anytime.
Oh, interesting.
How's that?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of like, well, my favorite hamburger is a grilled cheese sandwich. It's kind of like that kind of answer.
That is like, yeah, right. It's like, I
But-
don't want it.
I gotcha.
You
I
can
gotcha.
potato. You can have my ice cream sundae. How's that?
There you go. Well, that's really well thought out, considering, as you mentioned, you're not even a fan of it to start with. So it's a reason. It's a pretty, very diplomatic response, I'll say. That's really
What's your favorite sundae? Key lime pie.
Too good. So our homo says, Hot Sunday was the music group that Kelly, Lisa, and Jesse put together in Saved by the Bell.
Oh,
I remember
did
that.
not know that.
Remember that.
What?
Yeah. Hot
Do they
Sunday.
have key lime Oreos? Do they though? I mean, I have homemade key lime pie. I'm very particular about how you make your key lime pie. So.
I've had it. It's
I won't
really
even
good.
have Baker's Square key lime pie.
Really? Really?
No.
They still have
Injustice
Baker
for that.
Square in your area? I thought they
They
closed all
do.
They still closed all the ones over here. So that's cool. Okay. Good pies. Yeah.
That's
You
the
know,
thing.
any place that used to make pie is like closed. Marie Callender's is all closed over here too. I remember.
Oh,
Yeah, bummer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, you got mom and pop still for it though. But I'm glad you still have Baker Square. Good pies.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah, we'd always go there after plays. Okay,
Oh,
next
that's
question.
nice. Okay,
I'm
next
ready
question.
for
All
you.
right. Next up from Roman, who asks, "Do you also wish that the Pac-Man on the light would turn around and bite back?" That's this thing.
I
over
mean,
here.
it does feel pretty left out. It's just like that last one is just not part of it.
Yeah, Pac-Man's not really moving. The ghosts are all chasing after him. Yeah, it would be fun to see a little bit of a fracas back there. So Roman,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one. That's a good call.
I agree.
Yeah. All
I
right.
was bothered by that.
The Pac-Man needs to bite back like the Empire.
Yes.
You know? Good. Love it. Okay, so let's see. This is from Play Don't Stop Believing. What song do you wish wasn't on your song list?
Barbie Girl. I
It's-
think we finally took it off too.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, why is it on there if you don't like it?
Yeah, I
it's
think
your
it was-
song list.
Yeah, we had Barbie Girl on there from the very beginning because like a good friend wanted it there, and they always loved asking for it.
Mhm.
And then I was like, wait a minute, when I'm singing these lyrics, it's like the opposite of my stream vibes.
Right.
So I think we finally took it off for that reason.
That's a
too.
really good decision. Like, it's extremely inappropriate lyrics, just in general.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the context of that on your channel. I'm like, I didn't really have that song.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
Rome yeeted it.
Oh, cool. Robin, props. Yeah.
Done.
Yeah. So I guess that's a good answer to the question. And
CT, you can sing it. You can sing it at karaoke. How's that?
he might.
A challenge.
Oh my goodness, CT singing that song would be something. That would be. All right, so let's continue. So Roman has another question. Has an actual question, which is, well, that is an actual question. Like, you know, that's a genuine query as to whether the Pac-Man can bite back. And he said that if he did, it would go from a great light to an epic light. Which, yeah, you're right. It would be even better.
I think I agree with them that it would become epic.
Yeah. I completely am down with that. So Roman's second question then is asking, are you excited about your album release party or cool as a cucumber?
I'm being cool as a cucumber because I still don't know what time it is.
Oh, I see.
I've just been on vacation, so I just need to lock in the times.
Oh, okay.
I think that I have a live gig next week that's on a stage and paid gig, and I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, that's next week. And I'm a little worried just because like my stage fright comes out. So right now I'm cool as a cucumber. I think the week of I'll be a little bit more like excited, hyped, nervous, and then excited to just be with friends and play some good music. It'll probably feel better when I'm jamming with the band as we rehearse stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to here's to an awesome release party once it goes down.
Thank you.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Will it be
August
highlights?
28th.
August 28th. Okay, cool. So it's not too long from now.
There might be. There are things in the works.
Okay.
To try to like kind of hype it a little bit more. We'll see. I've just been on vacation mode, and so I've kind of let it just kind of slip off to the side.
Right on. Oh, Steve, if you're still in the chat, we'd love to take in your question. I didn't catch it the first time, so if you could put it back in the queue for us.
Oh yeah, Steve, I think you raised your hand. Like Steve reserved a spot.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that's what he did.
Oh, okay. Well, Steve, you have the floor for a question, so go ahead and put it in when you can. And
No, there's only one album. It's Be Human. It's on all platforms, Nathan or Jedi, and it's pretty awesome. I'm actually really proud of it. I listened to it and then I put it down for like a month and a half. I just don't listen to it at all. And then I listen to it. I'm like, okay, I'm happy with that.
Gotcha. Okay. So I found Steve's question here. Let me go ahead and put it in the queue.
Oh yes, there it is.
Yeah, we'll get to that question in a minute. We'll get to the other ones ahead of it first, though. But thank you for getting that to me, Roman. One more question, then we're going to do a redeem, and then we'll finish out the questions after.
Okay.
So this was from Dark N8V. So Dark asks, as a person who strives to be gender-friendly and all-inclusive, what are your biggest hurdles?
My own raising. I think about the book Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility, and I think it translates really well to gender fragility too. I'm cis-het. I was raised in a very binary world where there were two choices, and the viewpoint, both in society and also in my community, was very limited. And so sometimes, like the ruts that we live in, or the pathways that we've been raised with, have worn deep ruts in our brains. And there's times in which I'm in a social interaction and my brain goes back into those deep ridden ruts that I was raised with, rather than the beautifully fluent world that I live in now, that is the spectrum of gender and the spectrum of sexualities. And just reminding myself to call myself into that conversation publicly and own that when I make the mistake, and not put my emotional embarrassment on the shoulders of the person who is actually uncomfortable when I make a big mistake. That makes sense.
It does. That's really, I can understand that. Like, when you're raised to be one thing and you're trying to learn like how to properly assess things like gender identity and things like that. It's always going to be, there'll always be little moments where you're like, oh man, like that's not me. Like you kind of, I hear you, understand completely. So yeah, it is an incredible answer. Penwell's right. Like, and so, I sympathize with that.
I know.
And we're glad that you're fighting.
I'm lucky though, because I have parents who have owned up to the fact that the way they raised us was not correct.
I see.
And they're so open and loving and accepting of all genders, I don't put gender and sexuality together, but I do say that together because those worlds were very limited in my raising.
Right.
I also have a neurodiverse child who is so open with her own journey with me. And if you didn't know this, I'm learning this slowly. She has autism. And within the spectrum, acceptance of gender is so much more open. And she's such a prime example of that. So we were at the Minnesota Zoo, and there's this big black bear, that is like running back and forth. It's a polar bear. I'm sorry. It was a big polar bear running back and forth in front of the pool because it was 100-degree day and it just wanted to jump in to the water, but it was getting its courage up. Anatomically, it was clearly a male. We could all see that it was a male. And so everyone around my daughter was saying, oh, look at him. And she goes, wait, do we know he's a him? Has he told you his pronouns? Like, they could be they, them. And I just love her so much.
Yeah.
Just because that's how she is. And I'm so lucky that I have her in my life for that, to remind me in those times that I just get stuck in, like, well, anatomy. Really?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's definitely a very enlightened point of view, isn't it? Like it's really special to have someone like that in your life. That's really cool that she can see things that way, and hopefully more people see things that way. It's really great.
Dark and Kitty, you're making my heart just like burst right now. Thank you.
Yeah, and Dark's right. I mean, it's a nice answer. You are such an empathetic, compassionate person, and. It's a little rare.
Thanks for sharing too. Thoughts shared that they are also on the spectrum.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh wow, thought storms. I'm on the autism spectrum myself. No, right on. Undiagnosed for half.
Yay!
Wow.
Congratulations. My Matzi is getting tested, and I am eventually. The cost of getting tested is so exorbitant that we just have to price it slowly, because it is a spectrum. I'm learning a lot.
Wow. And Robin says autism and being transgender have a high correlation. It's really neat and interesting how many trans people are autistic. That is interesting. I never thought of that. Did you?
Yes, open and accepting without a single question.
Yeah.
I mean, my eldest is a prime example of that. I just love it.
That's very, very cool. Yeah, and I think we all know folks who are who live both of those, right? And so it deserves a lot of respect, I think. And it doesn't seem like much from my point of view, but there, like you said, there can be sometimes lapses where you're if you were raised to think binary, and you have to unlearn that and learn how to be more accepting. And I think it's great because remember, I think all these things are learned. I think learning how to be tolerant and learning how to be intolerant is, you have to learn these things. That's sort of my
totally learned behaviors.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so let's break up the questions for a moment. And Dark N8V, a great question. This is such a thing, another insightful, thoughtful question, right? It's just more.
Yeah.
Very, very nicely done, Dark.
I appreciate that, Dark.
Okay, so more questions. Yeah, keep them coming. We can go for another few minutes.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we have a redeem called Starting Lineup. So what we're doing is, thank you very much for the points for the Bork and entire Broadway production. Yeah, I love it a lot. So the way it works, so folks in the chat, if you're not familiar, the way you do it, you put exclamation point lineup into the chat, and then we'll read off your name as if you're on a sports team. And then we'll have the echo, and we'll have the music and everything. And then you can keep cheering them on with emotes, too. So go ahead and...
What?
Oh, yes.
Davey, you're so cool. I've got my borks ready. I'm borking people. Get ready. You're all getting borked.
All right, folks. So if you want to be in lineup, exclamation point lineup, let's do it. Let's go.
Lineup bork. Do we do it too, Davey, or do we not?
Oh, well, I will read your name regardless. So yes, you can do it. Absolutely. Go ahead and put yourself in there. And I will not read my own name because that seems very egotistical if I read my own name.
I love this.
But everybody else
I love
will
this
be
so
in there.
much.
Let's do it. Okay.
You're all getting borked.
Let's all bork everybody in the. Wait. I don't know if I want to say it that way, but it's time for the line. Let's do it, everybody. Put your hands together.
Somehow tacos keep making it in.
I love the tacos. Tacos are great. Tacos are a jam.
There you go.
I love it.
Oh
all
my
right,
gosh,
here.
there's even a scene. I love this.
Here we go. And now the starting lineup for your Davey's eating a sandwich show chut. Leading off tonight, joining us in a couple of days for the Karaoke Night Volume 6 Summer Edition. Music is in his name, Chris Thompson, CT Music. And also joining us tonight in the chat, an all-time troll on the Twitch platform. You'll frequently see him at the Brookstone bars urging our friend Pete to play Don't Stop Believing. It's in his name, play Don't Stop Believing. You got it. He's just a small-time troll, born and raised south of the Twitch. So good. And coming up in a very enlightened member of the Star Wars universe, but also a collaborator and a great jazz musician. Let's say hello to Jedi Master 4559. And our collab guest tonight, graciously joining us here on the Sandwich Show. She's a multi-instrumentalist. She just released a new album, having a release party on August the 28th, or sometime near there. Hopefully I remember it right. She's a music teacher during the day, and she's also a streamer on Twitch. One of the coziest people around. Give it up for Composey! I love it a lot. And next in our lineup, joining us from the future home of TwitchCon 2022 in San Diego, the Troller-in-Chief, Rahomo! And also joining us, welcome to the Sandwich Show chat for the first time. She's no ordinary kitty. She's Fantastic Kitty! And joining us again tonight, a great supporter of all things on Twitch, a supporter of indigenous peoples, and a host of great conversations on his channel, or on their channel, sorry. Let's give it up for Dark N8V! Fantastic Cases, what are we doing?
We're cheering you, friend.
Oh, I love it. Anybody else? I think that's it. Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries, your Davy's eating a sandwich. Sandwich Show Chat! Thank you
Friends, humans, and all people kind.
Woo! Look at all the Borg emotes. Thank you, Composey.
That was fun.
Oh, so fun.
It was a lot of fun.
You're getting ready to sports. The sprots. Sports.
It's true. I had to supervise a recess, and I got the 3rd and 4th graders this year. And we've got this big open field, and they know this too.
Mm-hmm.
I sit on the side of the field with all the other kids who aren't playing the games, and I yell, "Go sports ball! Do the things! Score the goals! Kick the stuff!" Like, stop this.
Perfect.
I do love sports ball, Steve. It's true.
Good times. Steve, by the way, do you want in on the? Do you want to go ahead and ask us a question or another question if you'd like to? We'd love to take it in.
The question from earlier. He already had the question.
I already wrote it in there. Yeah, I already wrote it in. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, this is a really good question too. Okay, but first, let's go over. And King Dambreaker's in the chat. King, pump it up. It's good to see you. Welcome in, King. Can we give
my daughter, my 2-year-old, wore her birthday crown all day, so she was a queen. But it's good to meet you, King.
King, good to see you, by the way. So nice, very supportive member of our Twitch community. Really good to see you, King. Rahomo, can we give a shout out to King Dambreaker as well?
Oh, Garfunkel and Oates has a sports ball song. Oh,
really? Garfunkel 07? Fascinating. Oh, thank you, Rahomo. Genuflex the birthday.
Sports, go sports. Garfunkel and Oates. I cannot wait. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Totally gonna have to learn the song.
I love it. Okay, so King, thank you very much for. He says genuflex to the birthday queen.
Thanks.
Love it. Garfunkel and Oates, like Hall Oates. Oh, like John Oates, like that Oates.
No, Garfunkel. Yeah, I put it on the chat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jen, who's also a teacher, takes bubbles and kites to recess for the non-sporty kids.
Aww.
I love that so much.
But I mean, sports are good though. I mean, sports are valuable. They teach teamwork and things. Like I think it's sports.
Right.
Sports are good. But I love that there are options. Options are good at
Yes.
recess. Always good. Okay.
Some kiddos just get super competitive. It's no
Oh,
longer
that's true.
fun then.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay, I'm ready.
CT, you ready? You're in the chat still? We have your question ready. And the question is, this is a good question. What's your favorite difference between guitar and ukulele?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So ukulele is so accessible. Like I love how it's gentle on the fingers. Like this is my second ukulele that I own. And it's so gentle. I love the nylon strings and I love how you can just play with a lot of different things. But what I love about guitar is when you go from 4 strings of ukulele, you get limited at a certain point. And sometimes like I'll write a song and there's a bass strap that I don't have in it, that suddenly when I have the 6 strings on the guitar and the 12 to 14 frets, I have so much more that I can work with. So that's what I like about them both is easy, accessible, get it in your hands and sing versus, whoa, I have so much available to me with the guitar. in my opinion.
It's pretty interesting the flexibility that's presented with one, and then like the creativity you can have with the other. Basically, pretty interesting.
Yeah. The hard thing for me is I'm a multi-instrumentalist, and instruments tell me they want to come home and be part of the studio. So like I just, when I was in the mountains, picked up a brand new guitar because it's so different from my Taylor. And I guess, I mean, CT, it goes with the same thing as each instrument, whether it's within the same family or even the exact same make and model, but just a different brand. They bring out different potentials. And gosh, that's exciting. Kind of daunting, but really exciting.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that like as you also can hear very like they each have their own character, like their sound is different. So that's always cool to see too. So
yeah, I agree with you.
It's a great answer. Really. Thank you for the
good question.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. CT, thank you for the question. A good call. Good question. So let's see.
Interesting. Jomsy writes songs on uke and plays them on guitar. I'm very specific about if I wrote a song for one instrument, it's pretty much going to always live in that instrument unless I surprise myself.
That's so interesting, Jomsy. Like what what's the bag, like what makes the ukulele ideal for writing the song as opposed to the guitar for writing the song? That's a really interesting. I'd love to follow up on that. I'd be curious.
Only because I'm curious too, because when I write it here, I have the capo to 5 on guitar, and then all of a sudden I have the E and the G string to deal with. I'm curious too, Jomsy.
Yeah,
I feel like you might need to interview Jomsy. Have you already?
It's in the works. We had Jomsy on the show, but I think we need to do like an actual like collab, like regular, like one of these. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
Because that question's coming up. I'm going to ask that question.
Ooh. All right, we'll talk, Jomsy. You're right.
Such a different timbre.
Yeah, Jomsy
totally
will chat them.
Yeah.
It is very much a different timbre. Absolutely. It's interesting spelling a timbre. I always spell it Timbre, but that's also they both. Oh, okay. So it's kind of the same thing.
Tambour is the drum.
We'll make it happen close to something. You're on, buddy. Let's do it. Let me know. Keep me in the loop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jedi. I was like, well, Jedi's brilliant, so maybe Jedi knows something I don't. But the tambour is the drum.
Tambour is the drum.
Yeah.
He says I can't do spelling. I'm an engineer. Jason, we got a Twitch baby. Yay! How you doing, How you doing, Jason? Welcome in. Oh, good to see you, Jason. One of the premier mods on Twitch and just a good friend. Good to see you, Jason. And look, Tim's here too. The Rev is here.
The Rev
Hello.
Aftershock is here. Hello.
Great to have you back here. So, Rahomo, can you give our friend Jason a shout out so that folks can not necessarily follow, but just get to know who he is because he's a cool guy as well. So,
yeah.
So we're here with Composey, and she's on the left side of the screen. I'm Davey. I'm on the right side of the screen, and I'm eating a sandwich. I tend to do.
I was eating a sandwich.
It's true. I saw it. Yeah. And
true.
we have questions. I'm going to put that on a business card. Thank you, Rahoma. Thanks for the shout out. So next up is a question from Steve. So Steve had this in for a while. So Steve, thank you very much for waiting this out. And the question: do you set aside time in your schedule to write songs, or do you just wait for the inspiration to come to you?
Okay. Do you want like the clean answer, or do you want the kind of ew answer? Because I have both answers ready to go.
Okay.
Davey, you get to choose because you're the one.
Okay.
I have two analogies. One of them is like a very gentle analogy. The other one's like very spot on, but it's also kind of gross.
Huh. Well, I guess we'll go gentle, and then maybe the next time we have you, we can go to the gross one and just see what the difference.
I should share the gross one right afterwards.
Okay.
Steve, the songs are always there. It's just whether I set aside enough time to let them happen. It's kind of like if I'm having a rush of emotions and I need to get it out right away because I can't function until I do, then I have to find time and sit down and write it like within a 3 hours time period. That's how some of the strongest songs are written. Some of the other kind of gentler songs just come because they're already flowing and the kids have gone to bed, and then I can set aside some time. I'm a part-time teacher. It's a lie. I'm a 0.77 teacher. And so I get a day off every 6 days. And on that day off, I try to set aside like the morning just to see what happens. And sometimes songs come and sometimes songs don't. My gentle analogy is that I have songs like flowing like a river going through me at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And if I sit down and reach, I can probably grab a few fabulous songs or its starters. But I have to set aside the time because they're just constantly going.
Right.
My
Okay, hold on. Before you let's see. So Jason asks, should I take my headset off? I'm eating pizza. Probably. So I'll give you me a hands up when we're done. Okay.
What does that mean?
So in other words, he's eating pizza. So if you give your gross analogy while he's eating pizza, it could be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and take your headset off. I'll raise my hand when we're done. And
Okay.
all right. So go ahead. Let's hear the gross analogy.
Some songs smack me so hard, like they take over. It's like, you know that feeling you get right before you have to vomit? Like you're like, oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Hold up. I have to stop everything and just take care of this bodily function. It's like that. And then Motzi knows, and the kids know, like if there is a very strong song coming out, it's almost like, oh, everybody leave me alone. And like to the point that I can't have anybody hum near me because the song's happening so fast.
I see.
And I have to get it out so fast. So that's it. That's the analogy that I want to share.
There's a very similar analogy that would be just equally as gross. And so you said vomiting. Well, let's just go the other direction. But like
Don't raise your hand yet.
Jason actually kept his headphones on for that. Okay. That was mundane. Okay.
I didn't know because like some people body functions in food, they don't want to talk about it. So I was just like, that is the best analogy I can come up with.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good analogy though. Like it's perfect.
Oh,
like you need space, obviously, when that happens. You want to make sure there's no distractions and you have this moment to yourself, and then you do what you got to do, and then when you're done, you feel so much better. It's like
right. But there are times where I'm in the car with the kids being loud and a song's happening and I just have to take out my voice memo app. So it's just it's constant, but if I want to finish a song, then it's got to be just me in my own bubble. Nobody can be around me.
Yeah. Steve, it's a hell of a question. Thank you very much for...
yeah, it's a good one.
A very good question. Thank you very much for asking that.
It's super fun to talk to tons of songwriters about it because we each have our own process. It's very personalized. It's amazing.
That is cool. I love hearing about the process as like a non-musician, basically. Like it's really good to hear what the process is. Like it's really neat to learn about it. So,
yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for the question, Steve. Let's go to the next one, which is from, if I can just refresh this, it's from Play Don't Stop Believing. And the question is, what were the positives that came from your conservative upbringing? Feel free to ignore this question if that is a bad question.
Oh, no. I still hold my faith. I still hold my religion, but I have a very liberal, open-minded one. I think the positives that came from it is that my dad, who was the pastor of the organizations that we are part of, I still hold as one of the wisest people I know. And he has, throughout my adulthood, become much more liberal to the point that he actually left the church when there was even question of not being openly accepting and loving to all people, like LGBTQ. Right. And so I think I have a strong faith foundation, even though my viewpoint is almost universalist, Unitarian, almost like of the sense of, I think there's something more out there. I think there's a calling for us, but I definitely think it's much more inclusive than many theocracy tending people may. I think that religion is used in a hateful way, that I will never believe in that. And I think that my upbringing continued to tell me to lean into love for others and lean into action. Like, don't just sit around and talk about it. Do something. Yeah. And I'm very grateful for that.
That's wonderful. And it does make me put into question where the motivation for hateful movements from religion come from anyway. Because it's like, it almost seems like it's almost entirely man-made. But I'm not going to go into that tonight.
Political.
Yeah, I think so too.
I totally agree with you, David.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. Right. I guess it just... Yeah. It just... I don't know how else I would describe it. It's just like... Because like... I just... We'll leave it at that, because I think this would go much longer, I think, if I were to keep going. But I love your sentiment. Okay, so let's continue with Jedi Master's question. Fairly good question. Check this out. So Jedi asks, what's your favorite musical, and what's your favorite song from that musical?
Favorite musical, favorite song from the musical. Oh, Jedi. Of course, you have to ask me this. Okay. Jedi's knowledge of musicals is way beyond me. I want to say there is a special point of Wicked with Defying Gravity only because that was the first time Motzi had ever seen a Broadway show with me. And that song was the turning point when he's like, oh, wow, I understand why this is beautiful. So I have a special love for Defying Gravity only because of that connection that it made. But then the Alexander Hamilton and the I'm Not Giving Up My Shot, I feel like is so incredibly powerful. And I asked Mark Cords to sing it like a lot.
Holy cow. Right now.
I think that. Oh my gosh. And I'm saying Mark as Mark grades
I
me.
mean,
Get out.
What the timing of
I
this
am
is
not
amazing.
giving up my shot.
Gotta get
Mark!
That's actually a really good point. Mark, this is unbelievable. I was planned. You're not gonna believe this. Okay, so my plan.
Sister, you were summoned.
I love this. Mark, welcome in. It's so good to see you.
Mark singing it is so fabulous.
Yes.
So I
completely agree. Special K, thank you for the resub.
Special K.
Holy crap. You all, thank you so much. I swear to you, I was gonna raid Mark after the show, and now he's here. What's going on?
Yes.
Welcome in, everybody. How you doing?
Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Hi, Mark.
So, Composey, I'm going to introduce you to our raid song. Here it is.
Okay, I'm ready.
Whoa, whoa. I predict a riot. I sure do. I predict a riot. Oh my goodness, Mark Hortz. Well, so good to see you. How you doing? Our good friend, and look who they brought. They brought the Brookstone Bards with them. Pete, it's so good to see you.
Pete,
Special K, so good to see you.
We were talking about you earlier.
Mark, I'm so glad. How was your stream tonight? We were just talking about Broadway musicals. Excellent timing coming in here. And I would also like to invite all of you.
Smoke me.
Yeah. So this is Composey. Hello, Composey. Say hello to Mark Cords and Abby C, who's in the chat. Pump it up as well. And all the bards and all the cool people from Mark Cords' channel. An incredible streamer. It need not be said, but we'll say it anyway. I mean, he's an amazing talent. He's amazingly talented. I know there was a conversation about how talent is a myth on the Queerly Into, but the fact remains you are very good at what you do. So, like, if it's all right for me to say that, I would like to. But it's good to see you. Either way, Mark, it's so good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, and this is Composey, as you know very well, and but it's and I do want to mention that too. Like, they have a great podcast. Mark and Abby have a podcast called Queerly in Tune, which addresses some of the stuff we're talking about tonight. We're talking about gender identity and things like that. So it's so good to see you. Welcome in, everybody. You just put a real smile on my face here, everyone. So thank you so much for joining us, Mark. Did you do my shot, Mark? Like, I hope you did, because
Keither said he sang it tonight.
Oh, he did. Keither, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, too, Keither. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I mean, we have everybody here is great friends of the Sandwich Show. Sam Fam representing everybody here. It's so good to see you. Let's see. Fatalani Snipes, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to scroll back here and just give some other people shout-outs. But, yeah, thank you for the resub. 13 months. Special K. Pump it up. That's wonderful. Thank you very much for the...
Okay.
Wow. Holy cow. Oh my goodness, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us too. Thunder Becca, welcome in. Sheena, and again, Abby, of course, our good friend Abby C. Keither, and let's see, anybody else? I'm sure there are a number of folks who are here in the chat, but thank you so much, everybody, for being.
Abby C, yes. Oh my gosh, I love this.
This is great. Oh, that's really.
About all you.
Mark says he sings that song at many gigs these days. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You must bring the
you
house.
So good when you sing it, Mark. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I live for Mark singing my shot at the so. Oh, by the way, anybody who's just rated in here, my name's Davey. I'm a talk show host that occasionally plays music once in a while on stream, but I also eat sandwiches. I'll show you what I had tonight. It's not going to be pretty, but this is what's left over, my buffalo chicken sandwich.
Do you have leftovers?
I have a little bit left over. Yeah. So there it is.
I have half a banh mi left.
Oh, let me see. Let's go. Let me zoom in on you.
Mine looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, your banh mi looks fresh.
Ah.
That's good. So that's Composey sandwich, and we've been talking. We've been enjoying. I do interviews on this program with a lot of cool people from Twitch, and tonight we have Composey. It's a really great interview. In a couple of days, we'll have a karaoke show. So we do all kinds of crazy things on this variety program, and we're so glad to have you with us, everybody. Y'all, give. What is your favorite kind of sandwich? I'll get to that in a minute. But a couple things. Rahom, are you still in the chat? I know there's a lot going on in here, but can you give our friend Tim Tam a shout out? He says I'm not here. Right on. Good to see you again, Tim Tam. By the way, Tim Tam, our first ever guest on the program. FYI.
Oh.
I always make that point.
VIP.
Yeah.
Right
100%,
there.
Yeah. Good to see you, Tim Tam. Gaming streamer, plays Dead by Dead, but Mark does a lot. And Abby does a lot too. So now you both were on together, right? Weren't you both on tonight? Like Abby and Mark were on this. You both were streaming together, like a collab. Like in-person collab even? Like,
oh.
I think that's what I saw. But, yeah, Special K, you're right. Like, Curly in Tune is great. Like, I'm still catching up on it. It's a great podcast. Like, have you listened to it, too?
It is. Yeah, no, they just chat. Like, they make you feel like you're in the room with them. I love that.
Yeah. But, honestly, I'm blown away. This is an incredible rate. Thank you so much, Mark, for being a part of this tonight. If you have a question for us, please put it into the queue, ! Question followed by a question. We'll answer anything you'd like to know. We'll even bump it up, like just like with songs, we'll bump up your question and we'll ask that ahead of the queue. Because of the
I got
raid.
borks. I just keep borking it. My new favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Bork people.
I would also like to remind everybody that we have a community challenge, which is Bork a Broadway musical, and we will recruit help. And Composey had a really excellent suggestion, getting Laura Wiley involved, which I will absolutely do. I will reach out.
Oh my gosh.
She's not going to say no, I don't think. But yeah, it's in the point section. If you want to contribute 2,000 points to the community challenge, please do. We'd love to we'd love to do this whole thing. Oh, nice! You got a new game, Tim Tam? Sweet.
Yay!
Yeah, new game. Well, that's awesome, folks.
Shenanigan contributed. Yes! See, it's happening.
Shenanigan! Thank you for the points, Keither, too. Thank you. But yeah, check out the new game at Tim Tam's channel coming up this weekend as well. So, good things going on all over the place. So, let us see. So let's go to the next.
Special K. Yes.
So, you said your favorite musical, just to recap, as the raid came in. I take my points, I'll take them. Thank you. And thank you, Michelle, for the points, too.
Yay.
So where are we at now? Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see.
Oh, hi, Michelle.
58%. Wow, this is moving along for sure. Okay, so Composey, for those of you unfamiliar, I think many of the folks are familiar, but if you're not, she's a music teacher and she does stream a lot of cool acoustic, very friendly songs. And I know you said you had a song about me, which I'm still kind of curious.
I have a song.
Okay.
Yeah. Should we do it?
You want to do it? Let's just do this, and then we'll continue with questions.
Should I do it in the tenor, or should I do it in the banjolele? The banjolele is kind of fun, but sound-wise, I don't know how it's going to transfer.
Well, try a little bit of the banjolele. Oh, thank you for the bits, Rahomo. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Jason says, I just can't wait to bork the king. That sounds good. I can hear it.
I should sing the song to you, Davey, but I should do a verse of just borks. Think?
I accept the borks.
Okay, you accept.
I accept the borks.
I'm an elementary music teacher, and my school does something really cool where we actually sing songs every Monday and every Friday as a school. And this is one of the school songs. So when I do it in the school, we've got a whole PowerPoint presentation, but here you go, Davey, for you. Sandwiches are beautiful, sandwiches are fine. I like sandwiches, I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper and I eat them for my lunch. If I had 100 sandwiches, I'd eat them all at once. I'm roaming and a-rambling and wandering along. And if you care to listen, I will sing a happy song. I will not ask for a favor, I'll not ask for a fee. But if you have a sandwich, won't you give a bite to me? 'Cause sandwiches are beautiful, sandwiches are fine. I like sandwiches, I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper and I eat them for my lunch. If I had 100 sandwiches, I'd eat them all at once. Once I went to England and I visited the Queen. I swear she was the grandest lady that I'd ever seen. I told her she was beautiful and could not ask for more. She handed me a sandwich and she threw me out the door. Oh, sandwiches are beautiful, sandwiches are fine. I like sandwiches, I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper and I eat them them for my lunch. If I had 100 sandwiches, I'd eat them all at once. Bork, 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 bork. Bork, 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 bork. Bork, 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 bork. One more. Sandwiches are beautiful. Sandwiches are fine. I like sandwiches. I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper and I eat them for my lunch. If you were Davy and you had 100 sandwiches, Davy would eat them all at once.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that song, Composey. Oh, my goodness.
I did not write that. That's just
It's
a
okay.
song.
I loved it. 100 sandwiches at once sounds like a great day for me. So
Right?
And
I
you
feel like
too,
this is
right?
a Davy song.
I love it.
Look, Pinball Dark. Thanks for the hype there.
Fantastic anomaly. Oh, we got another raid, Stormin! What's going on? Welcome in.
It's a party.
Oh
It's
my
such a party
goodness,
in here.
Composey, you brought the party. I can't believe it. Amazing.
Bass is here. Hi, Bass.
Is bass clarinets rated in too? Oh my goodness, bass clarinets. Like, is it a double raid? Is that what? Oh, okay, I got you. Well, this is for Storm and Key. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. Stormin Key, who is a fabulous musician, folks, is in here with the raid. Thank you so much for the raid. My name is Davey. I am a variety streamer. I am a talk show host. I'm also I occasionally play music, but I also host a lot of other content, including gaming and karaoke, including a karaoke show in a couple days. We've got a new one coming up Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern. We had a lot of great people in this one, including your friend, my friend, who helped you furnish that espresso machine, Stormin. Johnsy's going to be on the show on Saturday, but it's so good to see you. How was your stream? Let's see what you did tonight. Let's see. Yeah, Stormin. Stormin's talented. My goodness. But, Stormin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate the raid. Do you have a question for Composey tonight? Please let us know. Exclamation point question followed by the question itself. And hope that the espresso's going well for you. I know.
Ooh, espresso. Fabulous.
Yeah, it looks like an awesome machine too. But hello, Stormin. It's so good to see you. So yeah, go follow Stormin Key because he too is a very good musician here on the Twitch platform, and we've seen him showcased on Dinosaur Stream. Same for Jomsy. Like Jomsy absolutely crushed his performance on that stream fest. Oh my God, Maria's in here too! Oh my goodness! Can we give Maria a shout out as well? The creative star, who now is one of our mods here. So good to see you.
Oh,
I love that.
I'm nodding.
Stormin says far superior to my old Keurig.
Creative Star does pottery.
Yes.
It looks amazing.
It's really good.
I'm making a lot of new friends tonight. I'm following like left and right, and I love it.
Oh, it's completely worth it. Stormin Key's amazing. Maria's amazing.
Yes.
Mark is amazing. Special K, go follow Special K too.
Abby C.
Abby C, of course.
This is amazing.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please give Maria a follow too. Their creative star is truly that. One creative star, absolutely. Her creations are incredible too. So
Rome is also a potter. So Rome, Creative Star, meet each other.
Aw, Pete, thank you. Can we give Pete a shout out again for
and now bass clarinets are ringing.
bass clarinet? I knew he was up to something. The question he asked.
Just asking. This is such a party tonight.
I got clarinets on the. I don't remember the chords. Let's do the regular song.
That's good. That was really good.
I was trying to do Old Town Road. I predict a riot. I predict a riot. Where is it? There we go. Again. Bass clarinets, welcome in. It's good to see you. How is everybody doing? Jazzy C6 back with you again, of course. Welcome in. How was your stream? Bass clarinets is another variety streamer. Streams, by the way, another good and fabulous musician. You should hear.
Yes.
Oh, you're familiar? Yeah. He's good with the clarinet. It's a real thing. It's really, really good. So follow bass clarinets too.
Basses do good. I'm guessing so good.
Yeah, 100%. But thank you so much for the raid. Do you have a question for us for Composey? Exclamation point question in the chat. Let's hear from you. Played some spicy cheese. Oh, I love it.
Oh, spicy
I love that
John.
so much. And Stormin, same thing. If you'd like to ask a question of Composey, we have a few more minutes, so we'd love to take your questions. I feel like Old Town Road is just an AMG FE7 kind of... You know what? I think it is. I think that might be right. I think if you were to look... So, Liz, let's try... Do you know the chords yourself? Yeah.
I'm gonna take my horse to the Old Town Road. I'm gonna drive till I can't no more.
It's 4 chords. Yeah, I think it's it.
Yeah.
It's in that. Doesn't...
It is.
Yeah, there it is. Called it out perfectly,
That's
Jomsy.
perfect. Who called that out?
Jomsy.
Nice job, Jomsy.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Stormin says busy doing the...
You got it.
Right on. It's good to see you, though. Thank you so much for bringing your people over here, Stormin, and bass clarinets, and Mark Chords, and all the people. It's so great. But I wanted to shout out Pete specifically as well from Brookstone Bards, because he and his band, and Special K for that matter too, and Art Mays, who's part of Art and Pete with Pete. They have completed an album of Songworks albums, which were written in part by the chat of the Brookstone Bards. And so
oh my gosh, it's so cool.
It's really great. Like, they recorded an entire album. And so just a quick mention of that. More details at the Bards Discord. So follow Brookstone Bards and then go to their Discord to hear more about it. But, yeah, I love it. So let's go back to
Did you put it up? I think, did you put some of your stuff up on Instagram too? Is that where I saw it as well? It was really cool to see you all just jamming in your sessions. So cool. Just the energy.
Yeah, you did too. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. See, he says yes, we did. Yeah. So some of that made it to Instagram, and it was very cool. That was very cool. Yeah. So
agreed.
I love
Congrats, by the way. That's huge. I know, like, you all are amazing. You're epic.
Can't wait to hear it. So once it comes out, I'll let everybody know. We'll let you know about the new Songworks album from Art and Pete and the Bards, really. So it.
Oh, you made headway editing today. That's huge. That mixing process is just like,
kudos.
Do your ears hurt tonight then? Like, listen to the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Superhero Valentine was in the Instagram. Okay. It was an Instagram drop. Good song.
Yay.
Right on. Yeah. That's really cool. Okay. So let's see. Any questions, anybody? Let's see. We got one from Pinball Sorcerer who asks, I love quotations and wondering if you have a favorite meaningful quotation you would like to share.
Oh, okay. I just had one that was given to me yesterday, so I have to find it. When I was in high school, my favorite one was every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. But
isn't that from Semisonic?
Yeah, it's totally Semisonic. Very good. I'm gonna have to find it. So a friend of mine wrote her master's thesis and she was feeling a lot of anxiety. And I was trying to find where she said, just be where your feet are. And it was just from her thesis advisor.
Oh.
And I love that. Just be where your feet are, because sometimes I just feel anxious and overwhelmed in life. And it's just like, where are you presently? And that just reminder. That's my favorite quote as of like this week.
That's be where your feet are. Like, just, it's so simple, but it means so much. That's really great. It's a great quote. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Pinball. That's a very good question. Like,
yeah.
Let's see. Enjoy your alert bass clarinet. Thank you again, Croissant, for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That means a lot that you think of us here. And we'll see you on Sunday. I forgot to mention he's going to be in the karaoke too. He's going to be part of it. So it's
food.
It's a huge. My goodness, we have a huge party set up. Probably won't make it back. No worries. We'll see you.
Enjoy your food.
Have a great meal. I love good food too, as you know. But so let's karaoke. Come on, you know. I'm rocking karaoke. And oh yeah, remember, I forgot the Creative Star is going to be in it too. Let me just get the command in here. We have so many. This is like an all-star lineup right here.
It looks like a lot of fun.
Oh my god, it's going to be amazing.
Tons.
It's going to be an amazing show. If for whatever reason you find yourself into a place that has Wi-Fi or something in the middle of your
around my campfire.
No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You're going to do much more bigger things. It's all good. But we will have a lot of fun. We definitely will have fun. Thank you for thinking of us, though. So, okay. So next up from Jason L. Rush. And we love this question. Jomsy loves this question, too. In writing a song, you tend to write, rewrite, edit, refine, improve. When do you know when it's done?
It's never done.
Wow.
I mean, and that was my producer and I were having a hard time because even the songs that I thought were finished that made the album Be Human, in the process of well, it took us about 7 months to record just because COVID. Yay. Um, we'd get the song out, we'd do the instrumental tracks, we'd do the vocal tracks, and then suddenly we would be dubbing and adding so much more on top of it. And the producer would look at me like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "It just seems right." And we were talking about how your song is then set in stone, but it's never set in stone for me. And then sometimes lyric changes might happen or some chord changes might happen that feel more authentic to that moment. So I like to, in my perfectionist state, remind myself that a song is never done, and that helps me get more songs out rather than it has to be perfect the first time. My process, at least.
Oh man, it's I guess it could be charming in a way too, though, because like you're always working on it. There's always improving and evolution to a song too. So yeah, I'm down with that. I think it's a really
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and to comment to Jason, writing for poetry and writing for chapters and writing for stories, I don't know if that's any different. I just know for me that if the song is done and then I perform it the same way over and over and over and over and over again, I'm bored with it. And then I can't bring the energy needed for the song. So I need to constantly tweak. And it might be small tweaks where like the normal person won't hear the difference. But for me, it needs to stay alive. And I mean, my master's thesis on what a folk song is, and a folk song is one that tumbles through the generations. And as it tumbles through the generations, a song picks up the lint and it picks up the different flavors that go through the communities and the genres and the eras that it landed in and then continued on. And that's how I feel a songwriting process is that the song is not like, I'm done, I'm going to box it up and put it in a glass shelf, because then it's just going to sit there and collect dust. And I think a song stays alive when it just kind of rolls through and takes on the flavors of whatever you're going through. Maybe that's a terrible answer and you're all like, no, stop it.
No,
Fired.
not quite the contrary. The chat loves the answer. Johnson says you nailed it. And Jason is right. I think it's exactly the same, which is why I asked. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love that too.
I agree.
A tune isn't living organisms. The good ones change with you forever. I totally agree with that. Really good
Yeah.
call. Oh, okay, so this is our last call for questions. We're going to go another 5 minutes,
Okay.
I think. So
Thanks, Ramo.
do you have another question? Go ahead and sneak it in. Otherwise, we'll close it up in about a minute. So we'll go with one
And
that's
thanks
left.
everyone for the raids too. That was like a party. Wah!
Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much. I honestly was not prepared for all that. That's incredible. So thank you, everybody. As if Composey doesn't know more about that than me. This is Jomsy.
Bass, don't even worry.
Yeah.
Oh, did Kitty have a question? Kitty is asking.
Kitty
I have a
said
question.
above, which I guess was the previous question, I can assume. But Kitty, if you do have another question, feel free to put that in as well. So,
If you remember it, yeah.
Thank you, Pinball, for reminding me. Oh my gosh, we almost went the whole show without the
Oh.
question. Oh my goodness.
Jason, the Sandwiches song is written by the Sandwiches song is written by Fred Penner. So if there's copyright issues, you might want to check on that.
I don't think we're gonna get DMCA'd for that, honestly. So we'll be fine. I think it'll be all right. I think we're good.
Especially the Bork. Just do the Bork one.
Yeah, the
you
Bork
have my
one.
permission.
The
to
Bork
just
saves
Bork
us.
it.
I love that so much. Okay, cool. So, all right, we'll go ahead and close the queue here. I think this is good.
Oh, I see Bass's question.
I do see it too. This is a good one. All right, so we'll close the queue. Thank you again. Mon, welcome in, Mon. How you doing? Let's give Mon a shout out too. Can we give Mon Samurki a shout out? Terrific artist. We do bring a lot. We do.
Really?
Yes. Oh.
Hi, Mon.
Incredible.
I'm excited to meet a new friend.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're on Homo, if you could. Oh, Jason. Yeah. Thank you for the shout out. Yes, Mon Samurki. Give Mon a follow too. Also,
Done.
Nice. Thank you very much for the follow, Composey. You've got. Oh my goodness, you've followed so many cool new friends today.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it. All right. Well, welcome in, Mon. Good to see you. How you're doing? Hope you're all right. We are closing the queue, but if you do have one more question for us, Mon, go ahead and throw it in there, and then we'll take that too. So let's go to Keither37, who asks, what instrument do you not play that you wish you did?
Bagpipe.
Really? Ooh.
It's like one of the few, like few that I don't know how to play. Like I took organ lessons. I took keyboard for so many years, wind. I learned all of the orchestral instruments because I was supposed to be a band director. I learned all the band instruments and then learned random ones throughout, but I don't know how to play the bagpipe. It'd be kind of fun to learn.
Cool beans. Bagpipe is definitely out of the box thinking, Liz. Like, I like it.
I mean, I'm
I
sure
like it a
there's
lot.
other ones, but I actually had a bagpipe practice one. My mother-in-law gave to me, but it was so terrible sounding that Motzi begged me to give it away. It was like a really bad duck call, a duck that was in a lot of pain. Then the neighbors would appreciate the bagpipes. Well, I mean, the neighbors put up with a lot from me, so maybe they wouldn't mind the bagpipes.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would never know that for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah. Kitty, I did catch that you had a question, but I didn't see what it was. So, would you be willing to re-ask that for us? I hope you don't mind.
Yes. I'd love to answer it.
we-
Motzi hasn't kicked me out yet, and I keep bringing home instruments. So
Yeah.
he bought me quite a few of them too.
Yeah, well, the problem, Kitty, is that the chat has scrolled so much since then. I can't scroll up enough to find it. So maybe
Let's see.
like we had like three. I think we had a bunch of raids after the question was asked, so that's why it's not showing up on my screen, unfortunately. I'll keep looking though, just in case. I'll keep looking. But meanwhile,
Scroll down, too.
let's go to great question, Keither, by the way. All right, so here comes the big question. This is our tradition here on the Sandwich Show. So this is the question, and it is pancakes, waffles, French toast, or crepes.
I'm so sorry that I'm an out of the box thinker, but it's Swedish pancakes, which are like crepes, but for Swedish people. Does that count?
What would be closest to Swedish pancakes? That's an interesting response, though. Yeah.
It's crepes. Like it's like
Okay.
it's basically crepes. It's just the Swedish version of it. And my grandma used to make it. And my grandma was a very interesting character. Her one goal in life was to be a good Swedish covenant pastor's wife. Like that was her goal. And she did it. And she had this pride about making us Swedish pancakes on Sunday evenings when we moved close enough to be with them. And she wouldn't just make she would make 3 platters. You couldn't see over people. You couldn't see over it to see people's faces. And we would just have Swedish pancakes and like some type of meat, like in a sausage link. And that was Sunday evening breakfast for dinner. So
I was
good
going to
memories
ask
there.
like what they taste like, but it sounds like crepes is the closest analogy too. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of eggs,
Mhm.
like egg, sugar, flour, and then they're super thin. And then you're supposed to put some powdered sugar and fresh maple syrup, like not store bought, but really good maple syrup that you got from your neighbors, kind of thing. Because again, Upper Peninsula Michiganders was our roots.
Nice.
So sweet, yummy, good,
Sounds
savory French toast.
well. Ignore the latter part of that comment, but the crepes have been mentioned 2 times. But the caffeine wrote that comment. They're not pancakes, waffles, or French toast. So who really cares? But
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a pancake, the Swedish pancake.
Yeah. I guess that's true. That would qualify under pancakes too. But I think crepes is good. We'll kind of roll with that. Wait a second. You did say pancakes, right? Should we put one
Yeah,
for
it's Swedish pancakes. It's Swedish pancakes. They're just really thin, so they look like
Yeah.
grapes.
Yeah, you know what, Rahoma? Go ahead and put one in for pancakes too. Let's put one in
Okay,
for pancakes
okay.
as well. We'll qualify it as pancakes. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You have a running tally there. I was not aware.
No, it's okay. No worries. Thank you so much for the question, Pinball. Obviously, we had to ask a question at least once. So, on to bass clarinets, the question, which is kind of related, it's kind of the same idea, but with drinks. So, wine, beer, liquor, mixed drinks, or other.
Wine.
Nice.
A red Côte de Rhône from the region Côte de Rhône in France.
Interesting.
Not California tannins. They give me migraines.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Different ones do different things. That's true. So that's fair.
Right?
Completely fair. Yeah. Yeah,
A
Mont
red
says
coat
that's
of rum.
expensive. Yeah, I mean,
No, Mond,
not.
it's not too expensive.
Ah.
Like I can find a reasonably priced bottle of wine, but I my first taste of wine was in France, so I got really spoiled with like the French taste. And then when we went back to the States and I tried other things, it's like I just didn't like it as much. So it's just how I was raised.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And yeah, so liquor, yeah, would liquor then be, because Maria was asking, is that like straight up liquor,
Yeah.
meaning on the rocks?
Right. I
Yeah.
get sick
Yeah.
on liquor. I get really like not good sick. So
Mm-hmm.
not for me. Maria, you can have my liquor. There you go. And my mixed drinks.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, because mixed drinks would be cocktails. Like if you mix it with something else, like say rum and Coke or rum and Sprite,
Right.
or that sort of thing. But so Mon says I can't
Right.
deny that. Yeah,
I agree with Mond. It depends on where you live.
Yeah.
And Spanish wine completely ruined. Right. Yes. So when you've had good wine, it's hard to have other things. But that's my opinion coming in, and I'm saying it's my opinion.
it's really interesting how much of a game changer Spain was to the wine industry, wasn't it? It's fascinating because you grow up and it's like, oh, it's all about France and it's all about California, and it's like, oh, but Spain, unsung hero.
Spain's made some good wines.
Yeah.
I like the good Spanish wine. That's true.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that for sure. Absolutely. Bass clarinet says
I agree.
I'm the opposite. I get sick of beer and wine, but I can do mixed drinks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, bass. You can have all of my mixed drinks.
Croissant, you're gonna get a lot of
You and Mond. You and Mond.
Mond and Croissant are getting a bunch of booze tonight. Just love it.
Maria says Republic of Georgia wine. Amazing. I've not tried that. I will have to look that up. Thank you.
What a call there, Maria.
Huh.
Great call.
Okay. Good call.
Yeah. I should go grab some wine for Saturday.
Japanese whiskey,
It's a great
says
call.
Mond.
I've never tried Japanese whiskey. Have you?
Muscadine grape wine sounds really, really, really sweet, though, because my mom makes muscadine jelly, and it's ridiculously sweet.
Wow.
When the bears don't eat the muscadine
Yeah.
grapes.
Gotcha.
I've not tried Japanese whiskey. Then again, that's because I get sick off of anything hard,
Oh, right. Makes
like
sense.
the hard
Makes sense.
alcohol.
Makes sense. If I get the money, you're gonna do it, Mond? I dig it. LMK.
Do it.
So Mond has a question too, and the
Okay.
question is: during your time as a teacher, had you had anyone who wanted to use their teachings for metal music? I love.
Wait,
this,
what?
Mond. So in other words, the things that you teach, things about, like you were mentioning things about chords and then like how they're used and things like that. Have you had anyone that wanted to use their teachings for metal music? So like utilize and apply them for like metal rock recordings or things like that.
Like heavy metal?
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. This is Mon's question?
Yeah, this is Mon's question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, not for the metal genre. I'm indie folk, so I live in that world. So, Mon, funny enough, last year we did a fundraiser for something, and I said I would do a heavy metal stream. It was terrible. No, we did. No, we chose rock. And I had a few heavy metal songs on my playlist, like a Five Finger Death Punch, and it was so not me. I couldn't keep it on the playlist because it's just like I can't do it. So, with that said, Mond, I heard a fabulous podcast about heavy metal music, making it into a country that was super closed off. Oh my gosh, what country was that? It was a communistic country where they couldn't hear any Western rock music. And then somehow like things were snuck in and all the metal genres were blended, and the music that came out of this community was amazing because it didn't go historically in order. Okay. I'll message Davey about where that podcast came from because it's amazing. But no.
He's thinking that it might be. I mean, she's thinking it might be Serbia. Mond is.
It was not Serbia.
Not
it
Serbia.
was.
Okay.
I'll have to think through it all. But no,
Yeah.
nothing's ever of mine has ever been used for heavy metal. As far as I know, maybe some of my middle school students went home and applied it to heavy metal and they just never told me.
You may find it on Spotify later. It's gonna be,
Right.
it's
12
gonna be
Bar
someday.
Blues done in a very different way.
Now let me ask you this: if Barbie Girl was done in metal stylings, would that improve the song?
Maybe.
Maybe,
I know
yeah.
personally my voice would be shredded if I tried heavy metal. So
Yeah,
I
can hear that.
can't.
Yeah, I hear that. I bet a very interesting take, Mon.
Bork
I really
metal.
appreciate it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We need a new genre.
Maybe-
What?
Maybe Moscow. I'm gonna have to go back and find out.
It's interesting
I'll go back.
suggestions. But Chomsky, I do want to wish you big time props as far as your sobriety. Thank you so. I mean, that's really great. That's really great.
Oh, I missed it, Jomsy. Yay, congratulations.
Yeah. And then the other comment, having done both theater singing and metal singing have quite a lot in common. They're both loud, so I see that in common. But
Well, they're both quite expressive too. Like there's a lot that's being expressed.
Yeah.
I can have respect for it. I just know that I personally am not able to reproduce that kind of sound.
yeah, definitely. Pinball says we need a new genre, Bork metal. Oh my God.
Borktalica.
Borktalica.
Right.
AC
I love it.
Borksy. Borka Death. Iron Borkin. Yeah, we could go there. We could go.
Yeah.
Borkenstein, I think, is the other one.
Yo from Ukulele did the Barney song as metal, and it was much better, says Rome.
I can't visualize Neo Licklims doing that. Like, they're so well known for the ukulele. They can do that?
I know. That makes me so happy.
It makes me happy too. I love it. 5-finger Bork punch. Excellent.
I'm loving this.
King's Porker. There's oh, nice. Yeah. Why don't you, Roman,
Please
could
do.
you put that in our Discord? Here's our Discord.
I know. I'm listening to you, but I'm peeking through my podcast because I'm trying to
you can
find
jump
that
in over
answer that's
there.
bothering me.
Neo is a sorcerer. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, those.
No, agreed.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But thank you for the question,
Neo's
Mon.
amazing.
I love that. I love that topic. So thank you.
I'll define it later.
Okay, so no, right on. Thank you, Roman. I appreciate it. So last question tonight,
Okay.
and then we'll head our way toward someone new and keep the party going on a new channel. And it is the classic question, which gets asked quite frequently here: is a hot dog a sandwich?
Okay. This conversation has happened many times, and this is where I'm going to go off Composey and say there was definitely some influences beyond us that helped the conversation be entertaining. Is that a good way to say that? Is a hot dog a sandwich? I mean, if a sandwich is a protein source between two pieces of bread, no matter what the configuration, then yes, a hot dog would be a sandwich. But my brain hurts because it's like, no, a hot dog's a hot dog separate from a sandwich because the two bread slices. I'm thinking way too hard about this, aren't I? I was going to say, yes, a hot dog is a sandwich. And if you hate me for that, I'm sorry.
I don't hate you for that, but I also disagree.
Okay.
Respectfully, because
You can. I don't fully agree with my answer either.
my principle is the following. You said 2 pieces of bread. I don't qualify the bun to be 2 pieces of bread. It's 1 piece of bread. It's a pouch. I consider it more of a pastry more than anything. Now, I understand the idea that a sub sandwich should theoretically be the same thing. I don't, but the hot dog bun isn't really structured that way. It just seems like it's more of I don't know, like a pierogi, but a really fluffy one. Like, I don't know. We've had this discussion a lot. I don't hate anybody that thinks it's a sandwich, including yourself. I think there's an argument to be had. I just simply don't agree with it. And
Right.
so, fluffy taco.
Well, but then the really good point was made about what's like a pita.
A pita's a pita.
Okay. Not a sandwich?
I don't think so, but but then I kind of like have a gyro, and I'm like, well, it's kind of a sandwich. Like that's where it gets
Flatbread?
difficult. Yeah, flatbread.
Calzone? But then if you're going there, like, what about
Yeah.
ravioli? Is ravioli just a little mini sandwich that you just have to cook first?
People have said that calzone. Wait, what was it that they were saying? Like one of them is something's a ravioli. Like, is an uncrustable sandwich a ravioli?
Well, I don't know if I like my answer, but I'm trying to think. There's a game called I Dissent, and it's based on RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Mhm.
And the whole thing is you have to sit around the table and argue a point, and it's just to get the votes, not whether you actually believe it or not. And this sounds like an I dissent kind of question. And my 9-year-old, my neurodivergent 9-year-old, can argue a point, whether she believes it or not, to like death and win everybody over. So I feel like if she wasn't asleep, I'd be bringing her down here and being like, okay, sweetie, let's argue this. Is it a sandwich? I'm going to do this tomorrow with her. In fact, I'm going to ask her what she thinks and make her argue both sides, and she will.
I hope I can make it over to your chat and I can get an update on that. I'd love to hear the response. I'd love to find out.
I will. I'll post it on Discord.
Cool.
Keither loves I Dissent. It's a good game, by the way. Just if you're looking for a good game, I Dissent is pretty fun.
Now we're talking. Now we're getting into the tangent of ravioli. So calzone is absolutely a giant ravioli, says Jomsy. Yeah, I would agree.
I mean,
yeah.
But the process of cooking it and like boiling it in the water changes the process. It changes a little bit, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Pinball says, do schools still teach debating skills?
They do. Our school does.
Oh, your school. Okay, that's good. That's good.
To the point that my daughter, she's a third grader, now going to fourth. Every third grader had to write a strong opinion piece and present it to the principal. Like, that's so cool. She sat down with the principal. Her argument was terrible, but I loved it. I was like, good job, you. She's like, and therefore we should build a pool on the roof. No.
That's an argument. I don't. Yeah, I know. That'd be tough to maintain. Way up there.
Every school needs a swim team. We are in the middle of the city, therefore we should put it on the roof. It's like,
no, I gotcha.
This one.
King, oh my goodness, King, welcome back. It's good to see you. My goodness, another raid. My
You've
goodness.
Had so many raids tonight,
I can't
baby. This is so much fun.
All the credit to you, Composey. I think you brought the people. People want to hear and see you tonight. I think that's. Oh.
Yes, this debate about hot dogs, specifically.
About hot dogs.
Welcome in, King.
I predict a riot. I predict a riot. King of Mischief, welcome back. It's good to see you. I hadn't seen you in a bit. Like I'm glad that you're streaming again. Maybe you were. I just didn't see you. I'm sorry, but welcome in. It's good to see you again, King. How are you doing? Our good friend Keith, King of Mischief 77, who has streamed many a video game over his career, is here with his friends. It's so good to see you, King. How you doing? My name's Davey. I'm a variety streamer, the host of the Sandwich Show, and we do all kinds of things here: interviews, karaoke, music, and food tastings. And tonight it's a little bit of all those. We have our friend Composey joining us tonight as our guest for the Sandwich Show Q&A, and it's so great that you could be here for part of this. Cap, it's so good to see you. How you doing, Cap? Captain Katamari and King of Mischief, welcome in. So y'all go give King of Mischief a follow right now.
I just did.
He's really nice too. He's really nice. Yeah, y'all go follow King of Mischief. Do we have a shout out? Yes, we do. Great. Thank you, Rahoma.
Jason, I will say our school does debate and square dancing. Just come to join my school.
That's a unique position. Square dance.
Yeah.
Square dancing? They still do square dancing? I didn't even know.
And contra dancing, we do it all.
Oh my goodness, man! This is where it's all happening.
Yeah,
it's all happening over in the Twin Cities.
It is. Come on over.
Good times. So, folks, this has been a really fun conversation. I'm sorry that you, King. We could take one question. Do you have a question for Composey for us, King? We would love to take your question.
That's how I met my husband. I was a swing dancing, and Matzi was my dance partner.
Really?
So I love, yeah.
Aw, that's an adorable story. That's really cool.
True story. He flirted with every woman in the room but me, or every person, I should say, every person in the room but me. Mm-hmm. When we first met, we were good friends for a while.
Oh wow,
that's really cute.
What a story.
We dated each other's friends, even like it was a long.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, no, we had been friends for like 5-6 years before we were dance partners for a competitive group, and then
that's
like,
amazing.
Yeah,
that's
we can't be dance partners because I'm feeling too strongly for you. And it's like, well, we can try going on a date. And honestly, we had one date and never looked back. I knew right then. It's like, darn it, I'm going to marry this man. So.
I love that so much.
Swing dancing does bring couples together. Yes, right? Because it's happy. No, it took me 5 years to accept him. Yeah, it was a long story. But
so it's kind of like the the engagement scenario. Ah, wow.
That's a cute story.
Jason says you didn't mention he was blind.
No. He was very, very able to see lots of things.
That's funny. That's so funny. Well, just to repeat, thank you so much for doing this. Let's go. It means the world to be part of this. Like, I really enjoyed getting to know people on Twitch, and you're no exception to that. It's been an incredible conversation.
Thanks, Davey.
You know, I'll give you. You mentioned your watch party. Is there anything else we should be aware of that you'd like to promote in your streaming career or otherwise in the next few weeks?
Oh gosh. Well, it's hard for me for streaming just because I'm balancing motherhood and trying to like keep a balance of being present with the kids. I stream currently Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm trying to figure out which night to take off so I can be with the family a bit more.
Okay.
Next week, the 28th, I'm performing live at the 331 here in Minneapolis.
Okay.
It's actually kind of a cool scenario where it's 4 singer-songwriters. One of them has been Emmy nominated for her music. And we all share songs and play into each other's music for an evening. It's really exciting. And then August 28th, so a month later, is my CD release party. And then just streaming, trying to make a safe and wholesome community where everyone can feel seen and heard and celebrated. So come join me sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I mirror that, folks. Let me just give Composey one more shout out here in the chat. So
thank you. This is
absolutely.
really fun. This is a very fun evening. I've never participated in something like this before.
Oh, hey, I'm glad you liked
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, thank you too. Let's go thank some folks as well from our community for all they've done. So here we go. So I can't believe, and this just speaks to the power of Composey. Like these are the most raids we've had in a very long time. Like it's probably been about 2 months since we've had this many raids on the same show.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been a while. So thank you so much for all the cheers, everybody. And mods, a lot of mod help tonight. Aaron, Jason, Rahomo, you all were great. A little bit of Calf, I think, but I think Calf was just there to hang out. And thank you very much. And it's good to see Maria, too. And thank you for the follows, Keither and one other. And look at all the raids. 4 raids tonight. Mark Cord, Storman, King, and our friend Bass Clarinets. Really, really, really great to see you all tonight. Oh, yeah, Composey was the other one who followed. And Potato. Thank you all for your follows tonight. I appreciate it so much. So now, here comes the great part of the show. I often give it to the guests to guide the raid, so I'd love to take your advice on this.
Oh, okay. This makes me really happy. There's a few people, but because we talked about them and because I adore them, I feel like I really want us to go to the ukulele.
Oh, they're on tonight? Cool.
They're on.
Okay.
And if I go over to them, I don't know how long they've been going for, but I'm sure that they haven't been on for too long. So something just happened on your side.
Somebody gave it and gives up to Bork.
To Bork. Wait, I don't know if they're on anymore.
Anonymous, thank you so much. Oh, did they just go off?
I don't think they're on anymore. So
okay.
Hold on. There's a few others that are just really sweet.
Please hold. That was a good call, though.
Please hold.
We've been
it would have been really
thing.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There's one, and he's really fun, and there's another, and you've interviewed him. So I'm gonna ask you, and you get to choose.
Okay.
So Boyan is on, or Mark Robinson music. He's an amazing guitar player with like the smoothest voice ever.
Oh, that's right. Mark.
So they're both fabulous. So I'm going to say thank you for offering. I'm going to give you those two to choose from.
Okay. Oh man, what a call here. Mark Robinson. Let me see.
I have a third option if you want a third option.
I think I might know what your third option is. Let's hear it.
Jill Kahn music.
We've raided recently.
You have? Okay.
She's awesome. And she did raid over here too, which is really great, but we did raid her recently. So let's opt for the other two. I don't think I follow Mark Robinson music, so that's probably a good call. Let's go over there.
Okay.
Let's get to know.
Let me pop over there. Did you get him? Do you have his name?
Let me just, let's see. MARK, Mark Robinson. Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Let's go.
You got it.
Mark.
That's
Oh
him.
yeah, this is good. Let's do it. Okay.
Hey, Davey, thanks for having me.
Thank
This
you
was really
too,
fun.
Liz. Thank you so much for doing this. Everybody, copy the raid calls. Mod love in the chat too. Oh yeah, Hannah Rebecca is also a good. Oh yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
right.
she front paged.
She was on
so
the front
she's been on
page.
for a little while with a lot of hype. That's
Oh
so
yeah,
true.
it's been an incredible day for her. So much love to Hannah Rebecca as well. I was actually in the chat for a little bit of that too. So let's copy the raid call. But we will be going to Mark Robinson Music and saying hello and getting to know. I don't recall if I follow him, and if not, it's a great opportunity. So y'all go do the same. Go follow Mark Robinson Music, and we'll spread some love over to his channel and say hello. So have a great rest of your Friday and Saturday. Enjoy your trip, Liz. Have a great
Thanks, I
time.
will.
Absolutely. And
I'll be back next week, and thanks again for having us.
You betcha.
This is really fun.
All right, folks. So let's go over to Mark Robinson Music. Give him a follow, like we said. Sam Fam Love, as we always do. Get copy of the raid calls. We'll see you over there. Take care, everyone, for now. We'll be back in a couple days for the karaoke volume 6. Pump it up, yeah!
Yay!
Yay! All right, and don't forget to bork.
Okay, bork it up. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Take care, everybody. We'll see you. We'll see you in a little bit, and we'll see you at Mark Robinson Music. Take care, everybody.